Hey, this is Chase Sexton. You're listening to the Motoxpod Show.
This is Kyle Chisholm. You're listening to the Motoxpod Show.
Welcome to the Motoxpod Show, starring Darkside, his co-host Scotty, sometimes TJ.
Here we go. Another episode of the Motoxpod Show. Supercross is over. I'm back from Salt Lake. We got a lot to talk about tonight. Some good guests. Let's get into our sponsors right off the bat. Of course, our title sponsor, Cherubies USA. For decades, Cherubies USA has been the leader in moto plastic and accessories. You guys know all about it. If you need your bike to look fresh, hit up a Cherubies USA. Get a set of plastic. Get some frame guards. Check out all the stuff they have, whether it be chain guides and sliders, anything else. They got tons and tons of stuff at CherubiesUSA.com. Hit them up. Let them know you're listening. Also on board, Racetech. Racetech is the world's largest aftermarket suspension modification company. I'm going to be getting my new bike this weekend, and Racetech will be on that bike very shortly. Visit racetech.com for more info and use that promo code MOTOXPOD to save. Fly Racing also on board. X-Brand Goggles. Works Connection, code MOTOXPOD20 to save. Torque One Racing, R Jerky, Berm Lords Graphics and Jersey ID, Shock Socks, Williams Motorworks, Extreme Colors, Blood Lubricants, Power Band Racing, True Fusion Sports, and my boy over at GrillYourAssOff.com, Jason, for hooking me up. Code MOTOXPOD. I have been using that seasoning pretty much in everything. Everything I cook, Scotty, get something on it. I don't care if it's mashed potatoes, green beans, everything I cook, get some Grill Your Ass Off thrown on top of it. Even if it's like a TV dinner, I throw some of the Claymore Cajun stuff on the mashed potatoes or whatever. It's rocking. I love that stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah.
What's up, Scotty?
What's going on, man?
Not much, man.
How you doing?
I'm tired. As always, it was a long, busy, fun weekend. We got a lot to talk about. Before we get into that, a bunch of good guests, or 3 good guests tonight. We only have 3 guests. They're all good. So Justin Starling is going to come on. He finished 9th at Salt Lake City, 16th overall in the championship. Really badass for a privateer. Kicked some butt. His best year ever. Aaron Plessinger was supposed to be on last week. He'll be on this week.
Cool.
So AP is going to come on. And Garrett Schlegel is going to come on from PrivateerLife.MX. I don't think he came on last year, but he comes on almost every summer. He has a really, really cool website, PrivateerLife.MX. We're going to talk about all that. He does a lot. He tries to help out privateers a ton. So, guys, go check out PrivateerLife.MX. Get signed up. But we're going to talk about it when he comes on, what it is exactly. There's some contest winners. The gear, the youth gear.
Yeah.
Just right off the bat, that's Roger Gold. He's the email I picked. Actually, give me 1 second. I'm going to read that email. Here we go. So Roger said, so obviously I won't be wearing the youth gear, but I do have a couple kids, not my own, that would be stoked for it. I run my local BMX racetrack, and the track is doing a track team this year. The team colors are black and red, and I have a couple kids in mind that would probably fit perfect. Worst case scenario, I surprise one of the locals. I even confirmed with the parents of the kid I have in mind. His parents are a couple of my main supporters, volunteers at the track, and I'm pretty sure the sizes are a match. If not, his buddy is also a part of the local program. It is a touch smaller. I'm sure we could put it to good use. So, yeah, man, Roger, you're the winner. I feel like I have your address on file because I'm pretty sure we've sent you some stuff before. You may even be a Patreon supporter. I think you are. But send it again, if you would, to that same email. Make sure I have it. I'll get the gear out probably next week. And as far as our Grill Your Ass Off winners from a couple weeks ago, I was going through my backpack before I flew out, taking stuff out didn't need to be in there, and all that Grill Your Ass Off was still in my bag. I never shipped it. It will get shipped, I promise. It's sitting in my truck. It'll be next week. This next few days are going to be insane. We're going to talk about it in just a minute.
You're lucky TSA didn't confiscate it.
No, I mean, it was in my truck. I was emptying my bag before I left the house. Yeah. yeah, so a few things are going to get shipped out next week. We have 2 new Patreon supporters. That's Todd. Man, I'm going to screw this up. It looks like Todd Levesque or Levesque. Well, I need this piece of paper. It's Levesque.
I'll give it right back.
You can't read. I'll give it to you in a second. Todd Levesque or Levesque. I probably said it wrong both times, but he's a new patron supporter. I'm going to send him out a Race Tech t-shirt.
Sweet.
I need your address, though. I sent you an email back asking for your address. Haven't got it. I need the address before I can ship anything. And also, Jake Harding jumped on. He's also going to get a Race Tech t-shirt. I don't even know if you can read my writing, but it's up there on top if you still want to look at it. So thanks to those guys. Let's see. What else do I want to get to
That's
before?
what I would say, Levesque.
Levesque?
Levesque.
I thought you said Levesque. I was like, no, you're an idiot.
Levesque.
You're wrong.
You're an idiot.
Lots to talk about before we get into the show. We're going to do some stuff afterwards. For this X-Brand Lucid conversation, we still don't have a name yet.
I was thinking about it on the way.
I've gotten some picks on that, and then are some suggestions. And I also had a suggestion for something else we talked about last week for maybe the end segment for a name. And I had a couple good ones. We were talking about it. Maybe it was, I don't know. I'm too confused right now. I got a lot of suggestions. Haven't had time to really go through them all.
Right.
Just way too damn busy. Like I landed, I think I got home at 1 a.m. Sunday night, Monday morning, and I've been working ever since. And I leave tomorrow night as soon as the wrap up's over to go fly out to Kiefer's. And Kiefer told me, we were talking about this off air. Kiefer told me yesterday, like, better pack your Bengay and be ready. I was like, what's up, man? And I said, you're going to get the Tester Life. And I was telling, because I had texted him, I said, hey, man, when I land Thursday, I want to run by Race Tech out there. I want to get a box so that I can ship my forks and my suspension to Race Tech once I get the bike back to Texas. He goes, no, you don't have time. I was like, what do you mean I don't have time? He said, I got plans for you. I said, what? He said, you're getting a taste of the Test Life. You're riding Thursday when you get here, and we're riding Friday, and you're riding Saturday, and you're racing Sunday. Oh boy.
Dude, you better take like a great value bottle of Aleve.
Well, I hit up DK, Derek Kelly, at True Fusion, and he told me what I needed, and he's going to get that stuff over to Kiefer for me.
Cool.
Get some soaks and some other types of things that should help.
You're going to be at Kiefer's house taking a bath?
Oh, I'm going to be in that hot tub. Shoot. Yeah, I'm in the hot tub. And I don't know, did I thank Danny from Alpine Star? I don't think I did last show.
I don't remember.
Yeah, okay. So I reached out to my buddy Connor Olson, privateer, who used to work for Alpine Star, works for Fox now, and kind of was jokingly, he's actually the guy that took the Alpine Stars from me when I punctured my lung because I was wearing a demo set trying out the new boots. And then I crashed, punctured my lung, was in the emergency room, and he was sending messages, hey, I need those boots back. So
don't cut the
Skippy
boots.
took them off my feet, but Connor needed them back at the time. He no longer works there, and I kind of had forgotten. I was like, dude, I need some Alpine Stars for Kiefer's. I can't go out there and not match. Like, my boots don't match. I think I did tell you this. I feel like they're red, yellow, and white. And like I got
Kiefer
blue
would
gear.
be cool if you soul riding.
I gotta have some. I was kind of just joking with him. You know, at least hoping
Look fast, ride fast.
Hoping I would get a discount code or something. He's like, yeah. And then I remembered you don't work there. He said, yeah, but talk to Danny, this lady Danny. So I texted her, told her the situation, thinking maybe I get a discount code.
Yeah. She's
like, yeah, I'll ship them. They'll be there when you get there.
Cool.
So she just gave me a set of brand new.
Dude, you are like.
So I want to shout out to Danny for that. That's really bad, but yeah, I'm very
it's like
fortunate.
a day in the factory life weekend for sure. Yeah,
it feels that way. So I'm pretty stoked about getting there in a few days. Let's see. I'm just looking through some notes. They're all over the place. Couple stories from Salt Lake City.
Yeah, I'm all ears.
Kind of know how I usually am. We'll talk about the Yamaha race at the end, the LCQ challenge. Once we get time.
And this is going to be all new news to me because I have seen. I know who won. That's about it.
Oh wow. Okay. Cool. So. Salt Lake City, you know how you've been to Glendale with me, Dallas with me. You know kind of how I am at a race. Busy, interviews, doing everything I can.
Very straightforward.
So we get in there. We're in the press box Saturday, and watching qualifying, whatever. Maybe even before qualifying, it might have been during free practice. It was during free practice.
Okay.
And I walk out of press, and the race day live set is like right there where we're at. So I hear them sound checking. Kind of poke my head in the curtain, kind of give them the middle finger while him and Hubbard and DB are testing. And
typical stuff.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
And then I see Evan Blair, Daniel's son, sitting there. So he brought Evan with him, which I did not know. I was like, what are you doing, dude? And he goes, oh, just sitting here, And I was like, are you up here the whole day? Like, is that what you're doing? And he's like, yeah, I just sit here until my dad can do other stuff, which is all day basically, right? And I was like, you go with me. Let's go. So I told Daniel, like, kind of showed him hand gestures, taking him with me.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, cool. And so he goes with me, and I was like, what do you want to do today? Have you, like, I know you've been to races, but have you, like, what do you usually do? And he's usually stuck with his dad up there.
Yeah.
So what do you want to do? He says, wow, I really want to get some pictures with some riders and get some autographs. All right, it's all right. And no interviews. I'm done. Day's about you, buddy.
Nice.
So I took Evan pretty much to every team he wanted to go to. He actually got me into semis that I couldn't get into by myself.
That's funny.
Because I was like, so I went to Husky, Rockstar Husky, and talked to Big James. Hey, is Mookie around? He wanted to see Mookie. He's like, yeah, they're up there watching video. I was like, all right, cool, we'll come back. And I was kind of explaining, hey, and I did this I don't want to repeat the story over and over. So almost every truck, I'd be like, this is Daniel Blair's son, Evan, and I'm just, he never gets to do this. I want to get him some pics and some autographs. So as soon as I said that, Big James was like, hang on. Went in the truck, said, hey, guys, stop, just stop for a minute.
Yeah.
So they stopped watching video and let me in the truck.
Nice.
Evan took pictures with everybody. Everybody signed. They made fun of him, joked with him. That happened at TLD, Gas. Like there's a picture on my Instagram and probably Daniel's of him like sitting on the couch. Justin Barsha has his legs over Will Hahn. Pierce Brown's in there. All the Gas guys. Moseman's in there, and they're all around Evan.
Wait, was Will wearing the 30-second boy gear with the legs on the lap?
Shorts.
Okay,
no,
that's be a little close.
The whole day was hanging out with Evan, and like he's like at one point he's like, dude, this is the best day I've ever had. So I felt like a kid. Like I was just having so much fun with him. I didn't care. I didn't try to get any interviews, as I said.
Dude, he'll
Tony
remember
Alessi,
that.
Tony Alessi hooked him up. Took him in the truck, same thing, and they had the big Justin Brayton farewell banner up, and he had just hung it. And he goes, "You guys need to sign this." I was like, "Yeah, like you want us to sign it?" Yeah. So we were like, me, Nick from Moto Limited,
yeah,
and Evan were the first people to sign the farewell banner to Justin Brayton.
Nice.
That was pretty cool. Yeah. So it was just a really fun day of hanging out with Evan. And then he went down trackside with his dad. Oh, they took us in the TV truck. At the end of the day, he took me and Nick into the TV truck, showed us how that works. Pretty funny picture on Nick's Instagram of him sitting at the monitor, and he's like, "No problems with Patreon, or no problems with what's the damn app called that we watch it on?"
Oh, Peacock.
Yeah, no problems with Peacock tonight. I got this. So that was pretty funny. Just a lot of fun, man. A lot of fun. Just taking him around, getting to meet everybody that he wanted. He pretty much got almost everybody. So, yeah, really cool day.
That's cool,
before the races. Friday, I'm trying to throw a bunch of stories out there before we get to our first guest, Justin Starling. But Friday, we go to press because for the final round and the first round of the year, they have a big press conference before, like a televised press conference.
Yeah.
Which is not normal. It's not press day. It's a press conference. TV, everything's there. So we go in, we're doing that, and Kristen Beats in there, and dude, gorgeous. Just wow. So talking to Evan, talking to DB. After that, me and Nick decide we watch practice. Then we're like, for the race, for the Yamaha Lcq race, we're going up in the stand so we can see everything. So we went up there, and I can see Daniel on the podium with Kristen. I texted Daniel. I said, hey, by the way, she just moved into my top spot of the podium. And I see Daniel lean over to her with his phone.
Yeah.
And I just texted him. I said, did you just show her that? And he goes, yep.
Yeah.
I said, wow. Okay.
You're smitten, bro.
I said, no, there is no trust between you and I anymore. Like, that wasn't.
What did you expect him to do?
I thought he'd be cool. I didn't think he'd blow me out. Come down after the race, and I go up on the podium to congratulate Chiz, and she's standing there, and I look at Daniel, and I said, you and I got beat, like, I don't trust you anymore. And she's standing there, she's like, number one, I'm number one. It's like, okay, all right. This is really uncomfortable now.
Yeah.
So thanks a lot, DB. Yeah, he blew me out.
That's funny.
I guess.
Yeah, you do all this for his son all day, and he just blows you out,
blows
bro.
me out. Yep. And then I gotta apologize to Team Solitaire.
Jake said he's quoting Evan. He said, "Dark side, you are my father."
Yeah. Oh, well, Justin Starling's gonna blow me out too. I guarantee you. You'll hear that story in a minute. The my father.
If he
thing
doesn't, I will make sure to bring it up.
Something happened Saturday night. I went to the Monster Party afterwards, Christian Craig Monster Championship Party, and I was talking to Justin, and something happened that was kind of ruined my night. Pretty embarrassing. And I said, the worst thing about this is there's no way this is going to stay between you and I. And he goes, nope.
This was with Justin?
With Justin Starling. So I'm sure
What'd
that's going to come
man?
out. What's that?
What'd you do? Am I just got to wait?
I'll let him. Yeah, he'll tell you. I'm sure. I had to apologize to Chris Elliott as Team Solitaire. Because what are you laughing at? What we got on YouTube?
Dick Trickler said, I asked Kristen to be my Valentine on Twitter.
I think I remember that. I do think I remember that. But I told Chris Elliott from Team Solitaire, I'm going to come by. And I did make it by Friday after the Yamaha Lcq race. Because I went to see Robbie Wageman, who had basically...
Yeah, I saw your post. Is he okay?
He hurt his knee's jacked.
Dude, his bike cratered in the middle of like the highest jump.
But Chris kind of blew me out on Twitter also last night. Like, Darkside, we have a Slayer jersey that we were going to give Darkside, but he never came by.
Oh.
And I was like, well, I did come by Friday. But Saturday, it was all about Evan. So I don't know if he actually had a Slayer jersey, and he's not going to give it to me now, if he's just messing with me. But I'm sorry, Chris. I love you guys.
So they have
Yamaha.
They have a deal with Slayer, right? Like they can't just do that with any band.
Nuclear Blast Records is one of their sponsors. And
Slayer's
Slayer
part of Nuclear Blast. Cool.
So yeah, yep, that's the deal. I think I don't know if I'm supposed to say. There was another band that they were working on something with, but it must have not worked out for some reason. But there was another big band that's on Nuclear Blast. They were going to do something, I think at Denver, but I don't know exactly what happened. I don't know if I'm supposed to talk about that. I will say, for those that are Twitter followers, Logan Carnow's had all these OnlyFans sponsors every week. Well, this week, Ashley Faith was the sponsor.
Okay.
And I met her, hung out with her a little bit, kind of sort of befriended each other on Twitter. And she was like, Logan was down for practice when she was getting there. And she's like, I don't know where to go. So I left the stadium for a minute, or went outside the stadium. She had already figured it out by then. Kind of met her.
Oh, how nice of you.
Yeah, well, she asked for help, dude. I'm a nice guy. I got lots of nice guy stories, man. But we ran into each other a bunch of times. She was at the Monster Party. She's super cool. She's really nice. Her boyfriend's a big fan of the sport. I don't know if I think she's open about having a boyfriend, but cool chick. I mean, really, she was nice. She was really cool. She follows the sport. She knows pulp. She knows about the haircut and all that good stuff. So that was cool. Met her. Hung out with Logan a little bit. Hung out with a lot of people at the Monster Party, and we'll try to talk about that later too. We're going to run out of time. So just since I'm blowing myself, the other nice thing is my boy Josh Jelly Ellingson, Eli's mechanic, had promised me a couple of side panels.
I see.
Yeah,
that was a successful transaction.
Those are not ours. Those aren't for the studio. One was going to be for an Eli Superfan contest I'm having coming up with Dylan, Superfan Dylan.
Yeah.
And I apologize. I forget the other guy's name. There's another guy that I had when I did that before. I recorded it like a couple years ago, and he asked if we could do it again. So that's what that's for. Jelly gave us one for our studio. And when I was at the press box before race time, Sean Brennan from Feld was in there, and his sister and her sons and his brother-in-law were all there. They're young kids, and I was talking to them, how's your day? Who's your favorite rider? And the youngest one's like, Eli Tomac.
Yeah.
And I went, oh, man, you know what? Check this out. And I gave him our side panel. So
that's brownie points, though.
It wasn't even about that. It's like, he's a kid, man. How much more does it mean to him than us? Like, it'd be cool to have in here, but we got lots of stuff in here.
Yeah, I mean, you got his number one over there. I mean, I know it's not a real one, but...
Yeah, right. It's just, it's one of the ones they give out. But yeah, that. So thanks to Josh for that. Thanks to Nick McCampbell from Moto Concepts, because he gave me a Vince Freeze front number plate. He's Vince's mechanic. So got some cool stuff. Had a good time. Anyway, 10 minutes left before Justin. What do you got? Anything on Salt Lake City? Any questions? Thoughts on the race? Because there's tons of stuff to talk to.
I don't know. About. Point in direction, and I'll go.
Just what'd you think of the race? Christian wins the championship?
Yeah. I mean, I would say an understatement of him riding safe. He was kind of scared me for a second. I was like, bro, you're gonna.
When he fell, or just
he slid out, and I was like, dude, you're gonna have to go, because I felt like he had it, obviously, but I felt like. When he got, I think he was like in 7th, and I was like, dude, you've given your no room for like a flat tire
He still got 7 spots. He's good.
I know, but what if like a tire had gone flat or something like?
He ran a moose.
He ran moose.
He had a moose in it that night. Yeah, he was running a moose.
That was a very smart tactical decision.
Yeah, he had a moose in. I don't know if anybody knew that, but he had a moose.
Grant Langston would have given him a thumbs up for that one. Yeah,
he wasn't chancing that.
No, yeah.
But that was cool though. And speaking of that. in the press conference, it was a long press conference because they talked to Justin Brayton first.
Yeah.
Because it was his last race.
Yeah.
Then they talked to Christian Craig. Then they did the lights, or 250, not lights, sorry, the 250 press conference. They did the 450 press conference. And then they did the Futures Championship one with Hymas,
and
Ryder D.
Yeah.
And I'm blanking on the other kid. But anyway.
West?
No, Brad didn't make it. He wasn't top 3.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, they did that literally over an hour. The entire time you could hear Christian's bike out there.
Yeah.
And there was a point when it just stopped. And me and Michael Lindsay looked at each
Yeah,
other.
it was gone.
We did the whole, like, the brake thing, hand gesture. Broke it. And all of a sudden you hear this.
Nope.
It fired right back up.
No, it's
We're
good.
Like, oh, my God, how reliable are these bikes. They never blew it up. The aftermarket water pump went out. The bike never blew up.
That's crazy.
And they, Duff, which is Christian's mechanic, said he zip tied the throttle wide open and just left it. Would not blow up.
That's crazy.
Nuts. I don't know what they got going on. Pretty cool stuff that night. People, maybe some of the listeners didn't know that stuff. Didn't get to, it was pretty.
I will say, I even so like, I knew that he had already, like, I'd started watching the Supercross, didn't get all the way through it. I had known that he had won, and then I finally watched it. I think I watched it on Sunday. A Sunday.
Christian won the championship, you mean?
Yeah,
I
knew that he won, but so then I watched it again. I watched that main, even knowing that he had already won. When I saw him go over the finish line, and then like Paige started crying, you could see his face, dude. I'm not gonna lie,
Nick was down there by then. She got him Paige got Nick a trackside deal, and he took off before, and he was down there. He's like, I was crying. Yeah. And Paige looked at me. She started crying. Yeah. And we were all crying. Nick was very emotional. He was more worried, I think, than Christian was throughout the day. And he got to carry the championship trophy out of the stadium.
Nice.
Good for Nick.
Yeah. No, like I don't even have
get me down there.
I don't even have that like kind of. I've never had that interaction with them. I don't know them anyways. Awesome. I just from a distance, and that's still it gave me I got goosebumps, and I teared up, dude. It was just. You could just tell that it was a giant like relief.
It was. He was so excited. Like if you guys haven't checked out our YouTube channel, I did get some press day Friday interviews, and I got post race interviews Saturday. So I did get some stuff after the race, after Evan was with his dad, and I was walking with Christian out of the stadium basically because I was trying. He wanted to get out of there. He wanted to go to the party. And I walked up to him, and he was about to walk out. And I said, man, just go ahead and go. Don't worry about it. He goes, no, let's do it, but let's do it walking. So he walked backwards out of the out of the pits while I interviewed him.
Yeah.
He still gave me time, and like I said, we got to go to the party afterwards. So there's some cool stuff on our YouTube channel. We're about to take a break so that we can get to our first guest, but we're going to come back at the end of this thing. I want to talk about the fact, and people may not know this, I think Christian did talk about it a little bit, but okay, let's go back. First of all, I want to do an article on this if I can put it together. A couple years ago, Dylan Ferrandis, Christian Craig. Dylan destroys him, right?
Right.
I wonder how many people would be surprised that Dylan and Nastasia flew in, because he's out right now, right? He's done. He flew into the race to spend the day with Christian
they
and
kept
hang out.
On the broadcast, they've showed.
Okay.
So Thrasher's girl.
Yeah.
Paige and Jagger.
Oh, yeah.
And then Dylan and Nastasia were sitting all right there.
Just to be there for Christian. That's how their relationship has changed, which I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew they were cool with each other.
I didn't watching it, I didn't realize that he was there to watch them.
That's the only he surprised Christian. I was there when they walked up. I was in the pits
awesome.
At the time. And Nastasia was like, yeah, we came just to surprise him and be here for him. And that meant so much to Christian. It's really rad how much their relationship has changed.
Yeah.
So I hope that I can get those guys to talk to me in the next week or so where I can write something on that.
Yeah.
I would love to kind of start with the takeout, or whatever you want to call it, and go to where they are now. Like that's so awesome. Like, oh, everybody hates it, Dylan, and they're bashing on him for that, and now they're like tight. That was so
yeah,
cool.
because I don't see that happening with him and Freeze.
No, no, not at all. But that's something I want to get to. We've got a bunch of, Joey Savacci going to Kawasaki. Dungy announcing he's going to race the whole series pretty much. J Mark, the PrivateerLife.MX stuff I want to talk about. The Barsha penalty. monster after party. A lot of stuff I want to get to. Let's take a quick break. Still got 5 minutes. What did you do this week? Did you ride any? Oh, you blew up your bike. You did not ride any.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, man. Sorry about that. How is your GoFundMe? I haven't looked in a while.
Oh, I need to check.
I wonder if it's still $40.
I think it went up.
Okay.
Here, hold on. Give me.
Yeah. Do that real
Keep talking. Let me check.
But the Yamaha Lcq challenge was really cool. It was postponed like an hour because there was a pretty big injury during futures practice where a kid, I don't know if they ever got a video if anybody's seen it, but the case of all cases on the triple, and I think he broke his ankles or his feet or something. The guy was down for a while, and it took a while to get the LCQ race going, but it was a lot of fun. It was really cool. You don't know much about it, so we may talk about it afterwards, but if you don't know the results so much, I don't know if I want to tell you.
I heard some things.
Well, you know who won, so that's the Chiz coming from last.
Chizzed.
Was awesome. When we were in the press conference earlier that day, me and Mathis were talking, and Kristen Beat was standing there, and he brought up Chiz, and she said, okay, if you were to put your money out, who do you says win? Who's going to win? And I looked at Steve, and I said, I know he's starting on the back row, but is he still starting backwards? And he said, no, A-May wouldn't let me do it. I said, then Chiz wins.
Yeah,
and he's like,
and
no
he didn't
way.
even start.
He said, no way. And
he didn't even start second row.
Right.
He started.
Oh, he
put up. He got up to
He started sliding up a little bit. Yeah, that's bet.
Well, and
right
then
there.
I heard that A-Ray pushed everybody wide, and Chiz and Breeze just came right in.
It was awesome. I mean, I was watching Chiz where he's coming from, and then Christian was like, yeah, I got money on Chiz too. And there was a moment where I didn't think he was going to make it, but I had lost track of how much time there was, and I was like, this is like the last lap, but then there was like 4 more laps. So it was pretty rad, and I got down there with 1 to go. I told Nick, let's go, because we were up top.
Yeah.
And we ran down there just in time for them to come off the finish and roll up on the podium, and it was pretty cool.
Was there any like crazy takeouts or anything?
None. That I saw, none. Like, that's what everybody said. Like, I think everybody was so worried, like, if I take somebody out, I might go down, and then I lose a bunch of money.
Yeah.
There was so much money, I think everybody was being really
They're
smart.
like, dude, sixth works. Like,
yeah. So they were being real careful. It was pretty cool. Pretty funny. Good stuff. I think most of the guys, other than a few little things, they weren't happy that Moran's jumped on a Red Cross flag.
Yeah, I heard about that too.
Yeah, he says he didn't see it, and they kind of let it go, which was funny because, like, Steve was, always like, never change AMA, and then he just like, well, what am I gonna do? I was like, okay, never change AMA, Steve.
Yeah.
So
it's a little grass isn't always greener on the other side.
I don't have any proof. And I was like, yeah, man, AMA. There you go, buddy.
Yeah.
All right, commercial break.
There was
actually no commercial break. Yeah, we got. We'll throw a commercial in on this one.
There was the chat's conversation has gone a little bit to the whole Barsha Mookie thing.
We're gonna get to it, guys. So save your comments, or if you've already put them out, we're gonna do that after our last interview. We'll talk about a bunch of stuff in the segment that I can't remember what the hell we were gonna call it. But this has been the X Brand Lucid Conversation for now.
It's been the X Brand Dark Side brag about all of his. I'm just messing with these Salt stories.
Huh. Okay. Yeah. Wait till you hear the monster party.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Yeah. Oof. All right. We'll be right back.
Dad.
I haven't told this. I haven't told the story yet, Cade. So,
Cade.
Yeah, Cade. That's who we're talking to, Cade Clayson.
Dad. This is Dad, right? Dad.
Cade, son.
John. Dad. Jamie. Dad.
All right. I'm not even recording yet, Justin. So hang tight.
It's fine. I'm gonna keep calling you Dad.
All right. We are live on YouTube though, but hang tight, okay?
Well, Jamie's my dad, so.
All right, I got to introduce you for the playback audio, okay? So shut up for a minute, son.
As your son, right? That's how you're going to introduce me, please?
All right, I will.
Perfect.
All right, here we go. All right, our first guest of the night is a very special guest in my heart. He's going to be brought to you. He is the Racetech Privateer Spotlight. Racetech is the world's largest aftermarket suspension modification company. All Racetech products include award-winning gold valves, and settings are 100% guaranteed and made in the USA. Visit racetech.com for more info and use promo code MOTOXPOD to save. Tonight, Racetech brings us, for the Racetech Privateer Spotlight, my son, Justin Starling. What's up, Justin? How's it going, boy?
Dad, just driving. We're headed back east. Actually, I'm headed to Kevin Moran's house right now. I spent the night in Denver last night, hung out with a sponsor and Derek Anderson and such, and now I'm headed to Kevin's for a couple of days, and I'm on vacation mode right now.
Nice, man. That's good to hear. JSR Motorsports doing it this year, 16th overall, and finished I think your best ever, right? 9th at Salt Lake?
Yeah, and 450 best ever.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think that's still better than like a 5th and stuff I've gotten before, to be honest with you. So, I think, it's definitely best ever, and probably the best I've ever rode a motorcycle. I think probably all day practice. I felt like I led a little bit on the table, but I was still 11th, which was still okay. And 4th in the heat, and I think the 4th was really good. And then the main event, I mean, 9th, and I had to work for it too. I had to come from the back a little bit. So it was good. Yeah,
a really good weekend. Like, you could see how happy you were that day, Saturday, just throughout the day, even Friday during press. And we're going to talk about you commentating the Yamaha race with Cade, but like, you could just see it the last few rounds that I've been to, and just in general, like, you're feeling it this year, man. I think you. It may sound weird me saying this. I think you're very proud of your accomplishments this year, but I think it's warranted. Did I lose you?
You there?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I want to pull off here in a second, so hopefully it doesn't keep cutting out. I'm in the middle of nowhere.
Did you hear what I said?
Right. Yeah. No, it's been a good year. I've been really happy, and everything's been good. Like I've had a couple like off races, but I still am so stoked to be at the race. So all in all, you can't really complain too much. I mean, I love this shit, like straight up. Like, this is the coolest thing that I get to do is race a motorcycle for a living, and I think I've been probably the happiest I've ever been racing a motorcycle this year.
Yeah.
And I think the results are showing from that, and I think it just has a lot to do with the people I'm surrounding myself with. Not a crazy big program, but it's exactly what I need.
Yeah, you're cutting that quite a bit, just by the way.
Literally in the middle of nowhere, Kansas at the moment.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pulling off an exit right now, actually 341 Nico Izzy exit. But yeah, I'm in the middle of nowhere.
I feel like we've had this issue before where we called you when you were traveling. Maybe it was somebody else, but it feels like it was you.
Well, I don't have that luxury of everyone else. I just hops on planes and flies left and right. I do have to drive my motorcycle to and from the races.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's where I'm at. But
can
you guys hear me decent now?
Yeah, you're good right now, man. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay,
so,
cool. Yeah.
Okay, so kind of going off of the accomplishment. I mean, you were besides Chiz and Chiz's, so you were the best non-factory guy right after him. So like that was definitely like an accomplishment that I'm sure that you've been capable of being that guy for a while. So kind of just talk about like the relief from that, and then does that kind of like rejuvenate you to like want to like okay, now I can do this, or keep going more? Or is it kind of more of like, all right, I can hang my hat now?
Yeah, I don't think I'm anywhere close hanging it up. I honestly am 29 now, and I am only getting better. So at the end of the day, yeah, it has nothing to do with, I can hang my hat or, okay, I accomplished some things. Yeah, I mean, the next one is to try to get in opening ceremonies. Like that's the next goal, I think, is to be somewhere around that. I think it was at one point I was one spot out of getting in it this year. But yeah, I've been happy this year. It's been sweet. But yeah, beating Chiz the last race was definitely a big thing for me, because I straight up passed him, and we had a battle for a little bit, and I was able to beat him. And I honestly think if you beat that guy, it's a pretty big accomplishment, because he's so good. But yeah, I mean, it was a good year. I mean, my bike was good. Everything ran really good. So I mean, if it didn't work, it was really just on me, right? You know, like there was nothing to lay it on, like with anything around me or not having this or that. I had everything I needed to do the job, and kind of upsetting. But I mean, going into the last race, I was 20th in points. So to jump to 16th in one 20-minute main, you can't complain too much, right?
What is something that you feel you can take away from the season, like an improvement, something that you really, well, just that, I guess. What's something that you really improved on this year that you noticeably have gotten better at? Anything in particular?
I think the one lap stuff. I like last year, I didn't qualify that well too many times. I think like my best last year was maybe like a 17 or 18. And I think maybe average, I was 21, or something like that. And this year I was top 10 a couple times. And I mean, the last few races I was like averaging probably qualifying 12th or so.
Yeah.
So I think qualifying was a little bit better, which once you qualify good, man, it really makes the whole night a heck of a lot easier, with the gate pick and for the heat race. And then that really just leads you to a good start, kind of almost no matter what, as long as you're just kind of in the middle, you can follow the flow through the corner and you come out decent. So yeah, I would say probably the qualifying, sprinting a lot more. And I think it's
the business side of being a privateer. Like, what's kind of like the most beneficial thing that you've learned on how to deal with sponsors, how to promote yourself, market yourself? What's the biggest like factor that you've learned in that aspect?
Yeah, I mean, I could definitely be better at the social media side. This year I was doing all my practice bike work. Well, actually, I didn't really work on my practice bike because I rode it for 4 hours since January 1st. So, yeah, but it was the race bike work and the driving and, making sure everything we had everything and we had parts and so on and so forth. So, it was a little tough for me to want to be able to do the social media side. But yeah, I think that's one thing I'm going to improve on for next year is I'm going to get some like apparel and stuff to try to sell, just stuff like that to help kind of build the brand. Cause right now it's just basically, it's solely based on results. So, yeah, I mean, that's not, I could use some work on, but yeah, I mean, I hate that I have to rely everything on results, but at the end of the day, that's why I'm here. A lot of people do other things to make the money and all that, but I do mine basically just on results, because the money will come from results. So, but if there's one thing I could get better at, it'd probably be the social media side. I'm not the best at that. I also don't really like social media, so that's probably a big reason why I'm not that good at it.
You're fun on Twitter, man. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, I like popping on Twitter here and there, and poking some fun at stuff or saying some stuff, whatever. But to me, that's just like a text, like texting someone.
Yeah.
So that's a little different. But like when I haven't even done a post from the weekend yet on Instagram because honestly, I don't even really know what to post. I'm just like I almost want to just kind of ignore it, but I have to do something. So I was thinking about maybe doing like an IG live or something and just like talking. I don't know. Yeah, I think the social media side I need some work on, but I race a motorcycle to race a motorcycle, not to go on social media. So it's a little tough there, but
yeah,
this industry is changing a lot, and I got to kind of go with it.
Yeah, well, not even just with the social media stuff. I mean, obviously that's a huge thing now, but like even just stuff that because like the privateer guys, like people come in like, hey, I'll we saw what happened to Logan Cardinal this year. I'll give you this, and then this not comes through. Like, how did you kind of learn about stuff like that too? Like who do I trust? How do I trust somebody? And maybe even that side of it too.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at my program, it's all higher level sponsors. Like FXR is my title, and then I have like my co-title is SKDA Graphics, and these are all companies that are with bigger bike teams and so on and so forth. I don't have any of those little sponsors. I have a couple little ones that pay, but it's not like some guy saying, hey, I'll give you 50 grand, let's go racing. I steer clear of people like that just because you just don't really know what they're going to do. And I think Carno's situation kind of, put the stamp on that situation.
Yeah.
So, I just don't really try to affiliate myself with those people. Like I've had a couple people reach out like, hey, we'll help you with this and this. And I'm like, yeah, do you have a product I can sell? And they're like, well, no. And I'm like, then honestly, not really into this, and it's nothing against anyone. It's just, I really pride myself on my program running so smoothly that I don't want to have to rely on, my hotels being covered by this guy. And then this guy just vanishes on me. And then I'm like, oh, well, I didn't budget for those hotels because this guy was doing it. Now my budget's gone.
Yeah.
So it's just stuff like that. I've seen it happen so much, especially when I was on other teams. And I just kind of knew going into running my program, I needed to align myself with, bigger sponsors with like FXR and such that I know will pay and do their job. So yeah, I've just tried my best to steer clear of those people, and no offense to them, it's super hard to trust people in this industry, even when there's a contract. So
yeah, we look at the Rocky Mountain team, right? I mean, she's
exactly.
But,
yeah.
But I think you have to give some respect to you, or that the fact that you didn't just take any money that maybe was offered to you. I mean, there might have been some money on the table that would have helped you in other ways, and you chose not to take it just for those reasons that you just said. And that's you got to have some respect for that. That's pretty cool, because I think a lot of people, and no disrespect to Logan. Logan's my buddy, but it didn't work out for him, and it could have ruined his season. He fortunately figured a new way out to
Well, rabbit out of the hat on that one.
to make his season happen, and it worked out really well. But it could have easily just shut him down. So yeah, I think to not rely on that kind of stuff is smart, man. That's cool.
Yeah, I left a lot of money on the table with doing that, but at the end of the day,
Can you send those people our way?
Yeah, right. But yeah, at the end of the day, my program ran perfectly all year. There was no hiccups. There was no, begging for the sponsor to pay. Everyone paid on time. So at the end of the day, I think it was still better in the long run, mainly for the mental side. I mean, after the last race, I went to Colorado yesterday and did some stuff in the morning with a sponsor, and I slept the rest of the day really because I was just so mentally drained from the season, and I think had I dealt with some sponsors that it might have been sketchy, I would have done that a couple other times. So, I just always try to just steer clear of that. And I think at the end of the day, it's a smarter move regardless.
Yeah, for those that don't realize, there's a lot of privateers out there. Like you take a Cade or an A-Ray right there, but they're on a team. They're still privateers. Dude, Justin's doing it on his own, Scotty. It's JSR Motorsports, Justin Starling Racing. He got his own sponsors. He's driving the van across the country. There's nobody booking flights for him. He's true privateers, 1980 style out of the back of a pickup, but he's in a van. The guy's driving, like I said, right now, driving across country and doing this podcast. So, and there's not.
I've driven every mile so far this year, except for I would say about 600. Maybe a little less than that. I had one of my sponsors, actually a local bicycle shop to me, JC. He flew up to St. Louis and then helped me drive home. And we basically split the drive up. But other than that, I've driven every single mile.
That's gnarly.
Where's your go-to stopping place? All right, I'm gonna go rejuvenate myself here.
Dairy Queen.
Well, during the drive, I didn't really go through any places multiple times. I guess maybe if there's one, it'd be Kevin Moran's house, in Topeka, Kansas. And I'm 20 minutes away from there right now. Yeah. And I'm actually going there right now. So I would maybe say there, but that would be the only place that I stopped more than once. Everything was, the way that the schedule was and everything. You're kind of always going around some different direction. Mm-hmm. But I've driven on I-70 a couple of times more than I'd like to this year.
Well, speaking of the topic we're on, are you familiar with PrivateerLife.MX, Garrett?
I'm not. I saw it in the post, but I'm not familiar, no.
So he's got a really cool website. He's been doing this for a few years, but it's PrivateerLife.MX. And basically, you as a racer, privateer can go on there and sign up. Or I, as a fan, can go on there and sign up. And I can say, hey, I'm Jamie, and I live in East Texas. And, if you, as a rider, just a pro privateer ever comes through, man, hit me up. I'll get you a case of water. Or hit me up. I have an extra room if you need a place to crash. Or hit me up. I have a practice track. Or whatever. And the riders can get on there like yourself and say, hey, is anybody in this area, got a place where I can wash my bike? And if somebody does and they're on there, you connect and they'll help you out. So it's sort of a way for privateers to reach out to fans and people that want to help privateers out all across the country.
Nice.
And Garrett does a cool thing. He's been doing it for years. Like I said, where at every round, he'll raise money that maybe pays one privateer's entry fee. And if you're signed up on PrivateerLife.MX, he draws a name. And I believe that's how he does it. And he'll pick a PrivateerLife.MX person and pay their entry fee, or here's $100 for gas, or whatever. He does that every week for nationals.
Oh, damn, that's sweet. I'll do nationals, so it doesn't do me any good.
Right,
but yeah,
right.
that's pretty badass though, because it's a struggle, It's I can only imagine Greco and those guys that don't have the sponsors like I do that are relying solely on each race to get to the next race. So that's cool for them. That's cool what he does.
Yeah, it really is. Let's shift gears to the Yamaha Lcq Challenge. So Cade and AC were scheduled to announce it. Thing got pushed back because we had a futures rider get injured. And you jumped on board and went up there with Cade, right? And announced. How'd that go? Was it fun?
Yeah, I didn't expect it. I thought I was doing the clothespins for the gate pick. And I was riding press day that time. So I came off the track and people had already, actually the first person that came running up to me was Kevin Moran's, and he had gate pick 1. And I was like, wait, I thought I was doing gate picks. And I walked over to Steve. I'm like, hey, do you need me anymore? Or can I go back? And then I'm just going to run back down to watch the race. And he goes, no, we need you in the press box. You're going to announce because I think AC has to leave. And I was like, oh, my God, I'm not good at this. Okay. So I literally, like, I was still pulling my gloves off, and I'm running up to the press box. And AC was still there at the time. But literally right before the race started, he had to go do some rehearsal stuff for the actual big race the next day. So, yeah, I hopped on there. I was absolutely horrible. I never want to do that again. It's not my second job for sure.
Right.
But no, it was cool. It was just it was hard to know what to announce for, and then at the same time you didn't know what was being filmed. So you're like announcing something and you don't know if it's even being filmed, so you don't know if you're announcing something for no reason, you know, like just little things like that.
Didn't even think about that. Yeah, you don't have a monitor of what's Yeah, because
AC was like, well, you have no one in your ear, so you don't know where the camera is. And I was like, yep, I have no idea what's going on here.
That's a good point.
But it was it was cool. It was fun. And I mean, at the end of the day, our announcing was janky, just like his radio show. And apparently just like his race, with people paying other riders because of gate pick and then red cross flag jumping stuff. So yeah, I think his race went exactly how it was supposed to.
I don't think you're wrong. I think he wants to try. If he's like said last night, did you listen last night?
Actually, I listened today.
Okay.
I always save him for my drives.
Yeah, so he said that if he does it next year, he's going to tighten it up. No wild cards. So maybe he learned something. It was pretty funny.
I think that's fair.
Yeah,
I do. I really do think that's fair.
I do too.
Because like there's some riders that, like for example, Logan Leitzel was the first rider to not get in, and I mean that dude's just like me. He's at Moranz's house right now, and we were just driving. And,
right.
I think that's more fair for them because, I mean, at the end of the day, Chiz doesn't need the money as bad as a lot of these other guys, and Leitzel, I think, said yesterday he had $200 in his account and was waiting until Tuesday for fill-up so he could actually get all the way home, for getting his racetrack money. So, I think in that sense, I don't think there should be wild cards at all. Because, I mean, like if you look at like Brees and Chiz, and like we've all made pretty good money this year with results, and then especially top 20 in points and all that. So, yeah, I mean, I get it. We all want more money. I mean, obviously, but I think it should be an actual privateer race, and you should qualify it by doing the LCQs. Like that should be how it's done, and that's how his thing was done before. He should have just wild carded someone else in there for the last 5 before then, or he used to do the reset, or something like that. So. I can see that. I think that's how we should do it next year. For
I think he learned some lessons. It was sort of fun afterwards, talking to him because he talked about the Morans jumping on the red cross, and he's like, I don't know, bro. Like I didn't see any pictures. I don't know how I'm supposed to prove it. And we're like, yep, never change, May. There you go, Steve. Now you know. Now you know what it feels like, And so it was.
I mean, at the end of the day, like I could see Moran's side. Like he has a guy standing on the face of the jump, waving him one direction. That dude's standing in front of the light, so he's looking at that guy because that's who you should be looking at, and he's just saying move over. And there's yellow flags before that, and then you have Bryson Gardner on the left side, pretty much kind of riding in front of like that awkward position of where he is. But he's blocking the other light. But Moran's focus is fully on the right side of the guy staying in front of it. So it's like, that's a weird little situation, right? I can't say that I wouldn't have jumped either, because I would have been looking at the guy and saw only yellow flags, no flashing light. I probably would have jumped,
Right. Yeah. It's understandable.
So it's a little, it's a catch-22 there a little bit, but, I wasn't in the race. All I was doing was commentating and doing a terrible job at it.
Nah,
so
I'm sure it was fine. Well, I haven't watched it back yet.
I don't even want to watch it back.
Right.
I don't want to. I
Scotty's
heard the start part, and I was like, yeah, I'm good.
2 more things before we go. I want to bring up our boy Troy Dog, Star Dog, your Star Dog, part of the squad. Yeah, he's a cool guy, man. Very passionate. Helped you out a little bit. I think talk about just him and his appearance on Pulp last week. That was entertaining.
Yeah, we run a loose program, right?
Yeah,
it's we always save it, it's for the end, and he showed up at the end of the show. I finally get a top 10 at the end of the season, and we just do everything last, and late. But we get it done. Yeah, we get it done though. It might be a little late and stuff like that, but yeah, he's a good dude. I always kind of like laughed at him and Harlan and stuff, like with their little like squad thing, and I actually reached out to him at the end of the last year, and I was like, dude, how do I get a part of this? Like, this just seems fun, this seems like this, the camaraderie you guys have just seems like a lot of fun. I'm friends with Harlan and stuff. And he was like, dude, I didn't think you'd be interested in something like this. I'm like, heck yeah, dude, I run my own program, so I can do stuff like this, like this is the best part about what I do is I can do whatever I want to do. And, yeah, he's been a huge help, and really just like, just the hype man, like that's really all it is.
Yes.
Like after the race this past week, and my phone was going insane. I could hardly even look at it. But just yesterday, I went back and looked at his tweets, and he was like tweeting as if like he was commentating my race, and like just stuff like that is
That's
super
great.
cool, like he's like, bring it home and the 9th and stuff like that. And I'm just like, man, that's pretty sweet. Like people are really invested in, my race, and even his wife, is super cool too. So yeah, it's cool. It's nice to have him a part of it, because he kind of makes the whole program even more fun than it already is. And I wish he'd come to more races, but I don't think he'd show up on time,
He'd get there after the main event was over.
Unless he can drive, I don't think he'll make it.
Well, yeah. Go ahead, Scotty. We got.
So while you were on the chat, the discussion in our chat was kind of leaning towards where you seemed like the perfect candidate for the World Supercross Championship. Is that where you headed, or you talked?
This was the World Supercross Championship. Did you not see that? All the branding.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I saw that. That was kind of funny.
Anyway, go ahead.
But, yeah, he knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, end of the day, that's the goal, right? I'm done with outdoors. You'll never see me at another one. So, yeah, the end goal is Supercross. Like a Brayton, basically, is what I want. Is what I'd like to do. And yeah, the World Supercross is the next move. So, yeah, I hope I can. We'll see. There's been some talk about it and everything. I don't know for sure on anything, because it kind of seems like everything's kind of up in the air with it, which is kind of uneasy feeling, I guess. But yeah, I mean, I think my results are probably good enough to be on a program for it. And people know me, like I travel to Europe quite a bit anyways for racing. So I think in that aspect, I'm probably a really good candidate for it. And yeah, that's what I'd like to do. That's the goal. And if not this year, then next year, because I know this year I still have quite a few races planned in Europe starting in July. So yeah, I mean, hopefully I can. That would be, the perfect world. But yeah, someone's got to pick me up for it,
Yeah, that stuff. Everybody that's part of that signed an NDA, so that's why you're not hearing anything completely. Like any factual stuff necessarily yet. That they're not ready to release it, but it's coming. I heard some things this weekend. Last thing I want to ask, well, I'm not even asking you. We joked at the beginning of the show, father son. Go ahead and tell a story. Let's get it over with.
Well, yeah, we were at I think it was a Monster Party.
Yep.
And you and I are just talking. I mean, I'd probably just gotten there. Yeah, so that was 20 minutes in or so. We're just talking, bullshitting and stuff. And my buddy Nick walks up, and we're just, kind of like hops in. We talk a little bit, and he looks at you and he goes, "Are you his dad?" And you were just like, "Are you kidding me?" And I was just like, "Daddy, Dad,
Yeah.
You're my dad." So from now on, you're officially my dad. Because the whole time that you forgot my name and WW Ranch.
For the 30 seconds,
now
I forgot.
officially, yep. Now you're my dad, and I'm your son. So now we're completely even. We're good to go.
No,
and,
this is going to last. You're not going to ever let this go. Wait, just like you won't ever let the forgetting your name go. And now you're
no. I told you that night I'd let it go. I was just saying how we're even.
Right.
I won't bring it up again, but you are dad.
Because now you have something new to fuck with me about.
Exactly. And it wasn't even me. It wasn't any of us. It was someone else.
Yeah,
so
it kind of ruined my night. And then I looked at you and I go, the worst thing about this is there's no way this is staying between us. And you're like, no, I kind of want to tweet it right now, but I'll wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nope, you're dad.
And
you're
then the funny
dad.
thing was, well, I don't know if it's ironic or not, but I left maybe an hour later, and me and Nick walked downtown a couple blocks to Denny's, and who's there? Justin's dad.
My other dad.
Yeah, Justin's biological dad. So, and I'd never met him before. So, I told him the story, and he was laughing. He thought it was really funny. So, yeah. Anyway, yeah, thanks a lot to your buddy Nick.
Yeah, no, he's a legend.
Yeah.
that was the highlight of my day. I had a great main event
Justin.
and all that, but yeah, you being called my dad, which is literally just like those couple years of me being forgotten about is all gone.
Nobody forgot about you. It was 2 seconds. I just brain farted.
Well, you just dropped 28 seconds. That's 30 before.
All right,
so your story's changing a lot. So I'm gonna go with your dad. So
it's the old age kicking in, which is apparently why I look like your dad.
Dude, I mean, hey, we honestly, if you kind of look at it, not far off. I could see it. I could see why he said it.
Oh yeah, whatever, dude. The new haircut was supposed to
Come
fix
on,
all.
Dad.
The new haircut was supposed to fix all
I'm
that.
picturing like that movie. That's My Boy, where like he was like the.
I've never seen it, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, like he had the baby with, he was like 14, had the
Yeah.
baby with the
yeah.
with the teacher or whatever. Yeah, that'd be y'all.
All right. All right, Justin,
Yeah,
we got to wrap
no,
this up. We got
yeah.
AP waiting.
Ooh, legend.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you coming on, man. Hopefully, unlike Cooper Webb, I'm not asking you to come on the show too much because he blew me out last night. We're going to talk about that.
I think I've only done the show once.
No, come on.
I think so.
I've talked to you once before. You had to
Then
done
it's
it before
definitely been on
that.
more than that because you call. Yeah, I remember you coming on in the old studio and you were like, hey.
Oh, maybe it was like way back.
Yeah,
in the
because
day
you were like,
then.
hey, there's no jersey on the wall. When I'm one of my, you don't have one of my jerseys, and I do now. So yeah,
I
you've
thought
been
that was
on.
the first time.
I feel like you've been on. I'll
I
have
think
to go
that's
back and
the
look.
only other time. Yeah, I don't know.
Well-
Figure it out. You can call me whenever. I got off season, so.
All right, man.
Oh, hey, we
We're,
our sorry, YouTube chat has a over under of 3 drinks that Darkside had at the Monster Energy party. Over under.
I think he was over.
Okay, all right, we got a little. We're figuring it out. He won't tell me.
I don't.
Not yet.
Yeah,
I will.
I
Yeah.
think it was over, but not by much. I mean,
Okay.
I only had maybe 4 as well. Like I didn't drink much, because I wanted to actually go explore the next day and not feel like crap. So, yeah, I think Darkside was only 4, maybe more after that, but at the time it was 3, and I'm sure he had one more.
Okay. Well, we're
All right,
going to talk
we're
about it
gonna-
at the end of the
yeah.
show, so we're saving it. But
We held it together. We were adults.
yes, we were. Yes, we were.
Like
Thanks,
father, like
Justin.
Father,
son.
son, we keep it
Father,
together
son.
here.
All right, a-hole. Thank you, buddy. All
All right, no worries.
right,
See you guys.
See you, Justin. That's Justin Starling giving it to me, as everybody
Whoa.
seems to like to do.
Why'd you say it like that?
I don't know, because I'm the only one that has. Well, no, now our listeners are gonna be cutting audio. We're gonna have our listeners start cutting drops out. But all right, commercial break. We'll be right back with AP. All right, our next guest of the night. He's brought to you by Cherubies USA. Look, if you guys want to freshen up your bike, you want to make it look nice and clean and pretty, brand new again, Cherubies USA has everything you need, whether it's full plastic kits, individual pieces, hand guards, chain guides and sliders, anything else they offer, CherubysUSA.com. Let them know the Moto X Pod Show sent you. Tonight, Cherubies USA brings us AP, Aaron Plessinger. What's up, bud?
How we doing, boys?
We are doing good, man. It is good to hear your voice. I like the fire. You are not a guy right now that is totally exhausted from a Supercross season. I know you're bummed that you didn't get to do the whole thing, but you're refreshed, healing up, probably ready to start ripping again, huh?
Dude, yeah. It was killing me watching those races and me not being in them. But as far as the tracks look, the last 2 rounds, I'm not exactly too sad. I missed those,
Right.
But no, yeah, we've been getting the outdoor prep in, setting the bike up, and the bike's working good. So I'm ready for round 1, man.
Yeah, how are you feeling, man? Broken radius, right, in the arm and, from a practice crash?
Yeah. So I was coming around a corner and I hit false neutral and went over the bars, and the old wrist started to look a little S-shaped. So
Yeah.
So I had to get surgery on that. Got a plate, 12 screws, and then I actually had to get 2 pins to hold me from rotating my wrist. So I did that for 6 weeks, got the pins out, and I think it was like a week or 2 after I got the pins out that I hopped on the bike, and we've been putting in the work ever since.
I got a couple questions before we get into the riding. A question and a statement. So the pins coming out, I talked to, who was it, Colt or Justin that we talked to recently, Scotty, that I can't, had some pins removed. I think it was Colt. I've never had pins like the ones that come out. That's what you're talking about, right? Like pins that go in and they pull get removed, or are you talking about it's pinned in place, like internal?
Yeah. So mine came out. There were just 2 long pins that went across my ulna and my radius that held it from rotating.
So when they take those out, like what is that process like? Do they put you under? Do you just feel them coming out? Like I've always wondered, when somebody has like one of those fixators or whatever they're called, like a halo type thing around their leg, like what is that like having that removed?
Yeah, so there's 2 ways of doing it. The way I just got it done was I was put under and I was asleep for the whole thing. So when I woke
like
up,
that.
they were out. But when I broke my wrist in 2020, I went in just in the office, and the dude numbed me up, and I was actually wanting to take a video of him doing it, and he was like, I don't know, are you sure, man? Like, most people like will pass out if they see this. And and I didn't actually get the video, but I watched him pull it out. It was under the skin, and he just numbed it up with some lidocaine, and then he cut it open, and then he actually clamped on the first time and slipped off. So
oh boy,
that was a fun.
I bet.
Fun
You're
little
hardcore,
deal.
man.
And then he got it the second time. So it kind of doesn't really feel like much. It just, when they pop out, they just slide right out. You don't really feel it.
Yeah, I just imagine it being like when I've had a couple chest tubes when they pull that out. It's uncomfortable, but it's more like it just makes you want your stomach turn a little bit.
Yeah. It's more of like I don't know, like a relief.
Yeah,
almost.
yeah. The other thing I want to talk about with that is I saw that you're in an all-sport dynamic brace, and Jeff has been a long time. I've been in his braces, man, I think since like 08, 07 when I shattered my wrist for the third time and I got it plated. And, dude, those things – he was a sponsor show. Those things are so badass. You know, he kind of advertises it as like the helmet for your wrist. And a lot of you guys at your level, AC, Barsha have worn them, but then they get better and they take them off. I don't know what your plan is, but like I always ride with them because they have saved my ass multiple times, and I don't really notice them anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of tough. Like the brace itself is awesome. It's like the CTI of wrist braces. Like you send in your measurements of your arm, your wrist, and they do whatever they do, and it comes out unreal.
They custom cast it. Yeah.
And so this time I'm thinking about keeping it on because
I think you should.
I broke this wrist now 3 times, and it's finally time for me to stop doing that. So
same here, man.
So I think I'll keep it on as long as I can, and as long as it's comfortable to me. You know, Jeff's awesome. He always hits me up, asks me how it's going, and asks me if we need to change anything or do anything to make it more comfy. So, can't thank him enough for that. And the turnaround on this brace that he just did for me was insane. It was he got it to me within a couple days.
Wow.
And it was awesome. And yeah, it's comfortable. I don't really feel it. I don't really feel like it's on when I'm out there riding. So
yeah, you get used to it quick, I think.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, he's actually not far from me. I'm in East Texas. He's in Nacogdoches, like an hour from me. And I remember when I broke my wrist that last time, and I was in a cast, and I was getting ready to drive to Houston from where I live, and I just happened to be scrolling through Racer X magazine. And I saw the ad for the thing, and I was like, man, I see these all the time. I'm going to call this guy. And it was like a local phone number. And I saw where they were from, and I called him. I was like, dude, I'm literally getting ready to go through your town in like 30 minutes. Can I just stop in and see what you got? And he gave me a tour of the facility, and I bought one of the off-the-shelf ones. And I wore that off-the-shelf. You know, it's plastic. Like yours is carbon. I wore it for 10 years. It was like a $200 wrist brace. Wore it for 10 years, never had a problem with it. And people, you know, they see them, they go, oh, this is really expensive compared to some of the other brands. But like, yeah, but they last forever.
Forever, yeah.
So anyway, that wasn't really meant as a commercial for All Sport, but I really appreciate Jeff. So I think it's good you're in it. And I think if you are willing to stick with it, it'll save you in future issues. So that's cool. But let's get into some riding, man. How great was it to get back on the bike and get back to it?
Dude, yeah, it was insane. I didn't really realize how stir crazy I was going at the house, but once I got back to the track and back on my bike, it was fun, man. And testing this bike and getting it ready for outdoors has been awesome. I'm ready. I'm ready to go. I've been sitting around too long, and I'm ready to show the boys what I got come round 1 to Paula.
How are you feeling with the bike? I know there was some, you know, it's a new bike, right? Everybody's kind of struggled with it throughout Supercross, but you know, it takes time. There's been a lot of work being done on Supercross. How are you feeling on it outdoors? I know you say you're not the best tester in the world, but just comfort-wise, personally, how you feel?
Yeah, I feel good now.
Good.
You know, it's my base setting or what they had me on before. You know, I wasn't really gelling with, so I came out here to California, and we've been testing this whole week, and dude, they've got it spot on. You know,
Good.
I can't thank these guys enough for getting me comfortable as quick as they did yesterday and today. The track was gnarly today, so it was more so like race conditions. So I'm ready, and I'm sure these guys are ready for me to get back to the truck and back on the track.
I'll bet. Where are you riding while you're out there? Where are you riding Friday?
So I'm not riding on Friday,
Okay.
but I am. Well, I rode the last 2 days at Paula, and then I am riding at Glen Helen on Thursday, and then I'll fly back to
Okay.
Florida on Friday, and then I'll be back out here for press day at Paula.
Yeah. I may see you Thursday. I don't know. I'm coming out to ride with Kiefer. I'm getting my YZ250 two-stroke, and he told me yesterday, like, I haven't been on a bike AP in 6 months. Haven't been on two-stroke in 15 years, 20 years. But he texted me yesterday, said, when you land Thursday, I was like, hey, I need to go to Race Tech real quick. He said, nope, you don't have time. You're riding. Riding Thursday, riding Friday, riding Saturday, and he has me racing Paula on Sunday. Keep in mind, what I just told you, I haven't rode in 6 months. And I was like, oh,
It's not going to happen.
Well, anyway, he won't tell me where we're riding Thursday, but we're riding Thursday and Friday somewhere. So I was like, yeah, if you're going to be out there, I'd get the hell out of your way for you. I promise. Yeah, it's going to be really.
I'll be looking for
Hold
you.
your line.
It's going to be
Hold your
really
line.
entertaining. And I told Kiefer, anything that you're recording, please record it at half speed at least. So when you play at regular speed, it looks decent, because it's going to be really bad. But it's going to be bad.
Well, I would say I'd be looking for the blonde ponytail out there, but
it's gone.
seeing as it's gone, man.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'll be looking for.
Well, all my jerseys do say Dark Side on the back, so you know that stands out a little bit. But
Just look for the Slayer jersey,
anyway,
man.
I've hogged all this. Go ahead, Scotty. I'm sorry. Go
No,
ahead.
you're good. So, man, you're like one of the most genuine guys in sport. I feel like I've got a picture pulled up on the screen of you're sitting on the line playing a guitar. Like
That's on our.
dude, like you're so chill and genuine, and you just truly seem like a fan of the sport. And I just kind of wanted you've kind of talked about it, hinted some of the things a little bit, but just kind of talk about like why you love this sport so much and how much love you have for the sport.
Yeah, man, I do. I'm a full-fledged fan of the sport, and you know, if it wasn't for dirt bikes and motocross and all the things that I've went through in my life, I wouldn't be where I am and have the friends that I do, and you know, I'm just really, really thankful and appreciative for that. So, you know, as long as I don't forget that, you know, I think I'll be as genuine as I can be about the sport. And yeah, I just love it. I just love riding my dirt bike. I love the job that I have. I love that it takes me around the whole world, or the whole United States at this point in my career. I'm sure I'll travel the world at some point, but no, it's amazing. It's awesome. It's so much fun when you're riding and not hurt. But yeah, I mean, the friends that I've made doing this, they're awesome. They're some of my best friends, and I wouldn't change it for anything. But yeah, I'm looking forward to maybe hopping back in the GNCC ranks when this motocross stuff is done. So yeah, that's what kind of sparked my love for the whole sport in the first place. So
Yeah.
looking forward to that. And yeah, I wouldn't change it for anything.
What do you think about your new teammate for outdoors?
Man, 2 new teammates.
Right.
We got a 9-time world champion, and then we got Supercross and motocross champion. I mean, I am going to learn a lot, I hope, this summer, and you know, hopefully we can. I mean, if there is anything we need to address on the bike, hopefully we can use those guys' brains to bring it to life. So Yeah, I'm really excited for the teammates this summer, and looking forward to a good long season outdoors.
Love it.
Yeah, I kind of had a question about that. So, you're in the KTM Monday meeting, whatever you're in the meeting, everybody's talking, teams talking, like, how are they like presenting that to you guys? Like, how, like, is it like, hey, we need like, what's going on, man? Like, how are they presenting it to you guys, like, as part of the team?
Like, are you asking, like, how they present that Dungy's coming?
Like Monday morning. Oh, and another thing, Caroli and Dungy are both racing, by the way. Like, just kind of talk about, like, how it came down from the top,
I actually, I heard, speculation that Hurlings was going to come over, and I heard that Caroli was going to come over, and I heard that Dungy was going to race, but it wasn't like, hey, these guys are going to be your teammates. It was more so just like, I don't know. I seen it on Instagram. I seen it on all the social media things.
The rumor mill.
Yeah. And it wasn't really presented to me, but once I heard that, I was like, holy crap, I better step my game up. We got world champion, and we got multi-time Supercross motocross champion coming aboard. So yeah, it wasn't really in a meeting per se. It was just, here these guys are, and they're going to be racing for us.
That's
this
crazy.
summer.
You think they'd be like, send an email or something like, hey, Dunch is racing, just in case you wanted to know.
Yeah. They don't want that email to get out before the press release.
I guess it's that's the way it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't want to tell me because I'm friends with just about anybody and everybody. So
that's true.
So
Maybe
we're
like,
gonna get out soon.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's true. That's funny. Yeah. Hey man, how's the family? Right, 2 kids now.
Dude, yeah. Well, 3. We got Hadley, who's 12. Jake, he's 3, is going to turn 4 in July, and then we got Savannah, the not newborn anymore.
Yeah,
it's hard to say, but yeah, they're doing awesome. They're actually in Florida right now. They're with my mom and my sister at Disney World, so they are living it up, to say the least, and. Yeah, we're doing awesome. Jake's loving riding his Stasic. He's doing laps on laps around the house. He actually just took a pretty big digger and tore one of the throttle cables off the thing. So I had to get him a new one for that. And I guess the apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
That's typical, man. That's awesome. I love it. Hell yeah.
But yeah, it's going really, really good.
Awesome. You got one more, Scotty?
Yeah, so I had one from one of our listeners. They kind of wanted to talk about like what maybe you do after a Supercross race where you like get the meal or something. He said he had a story where he saw you at like a restaurant and like they weren't taking people anymore because it was late, and you were like, oh, guess it's going to be a beer and Snickers night. So like, so just kind of talk about like what, I guess just talk about that, I guess.
Oh yeah, I think I know what he was talking about, but no, yeah, I after a late race, in Supercross, it's kind of hard to find anywhere really to eat or sit down. Usually, in California, you stop by the old In-N-Out Trusty Burger.
That's literally what was in my mind. Yeah, I knew that. Yep.
Either that or you swing through Taco Bell, but
gross.
I'm fortunate enough to have the metabolism of a young child, so anything I eat goes through me just about 20 minutes. So
30 minutes down the highway pulling off again.
I'm sure Alden loves hearing that.
But no, yeah, it's hard to find really good places to eat after a late night Supercross race. So usually I'm settling for the old pizza or burger or a couple tacos.
Yeah, we were trying to find some food after Salt Lake. We went to the Monster Party first, and there's nothing open like after 11 anyway, really. But Denny's was open, so we walked like 2 blocks to Denny's, and they were like we're down to 1 cook, so like it's like a 40-minute wait, and there was tons of people in there. And we waited about a half hour. Not a single person got their food. And I was like, well, yeah, same thing as like what Scotty said. I was like, well, I guess we're going to hit a gas station. Let's get a candy bar. And then the gas stations were closed. I was like, all right, I guess I'm going hungry. So Salt Lake kind of stinks for after hours for sure. But
Yeah.
hey, I got a random question. We do this segment, and I didn't tell Scott I was going to do this. We do this Blood Lubricants, that's our oil sponsor, cross-rutted segment where we kind of talk about random topics. So I just want to ask you this one real quick. Like, if you could time travel to any time or place, past, present, where would you go?
I'd be in the good old US of A in the 80s, man.
80s,
in the
okay.
80s, early 90s. That whole era, that whole vibe down, I don't know, back then was
You got the hair.
awesome. Yeah. Like, I'd be rocking the mullet. I'd be rocking the short jean shorts.
Yes.
I'd be hitting the gym, getting these legs
Yeah.
all ready for the pool days. But
Okay.
yeah, I think I'd be right in there, right in the mix, right with all my people.
So that answer kind of hurt my feelings, just like the Justin Starling story, Sky, that we just talked about. So I'll briefly, we were at the Monster Party, and I'm talking to Justin Starling. His buddy comes up, talking to Justin for a second. He goes, "Hey, is this your dad?" So I felt old, ruined my night. You saying you time traveled to the 80s and 90s, I'm like, that was just like 10 years ago, like, right? I feel like it was like yesterday. Again, Aaron makes me feel old. Thanks, dude. Appreciate it. It wasn't that long ago, Aaron.
Dude, I know, but hey, I was just a young cat at that time.
Yeah.
I was 3 and 4 years old.
Shit.
I don't remember much of those.
I graduated in 93, so I was prime teenage years. Dude.
I don't even know if I was thought about then. My sister was born in 92 and I was born in 96. So.
Wow. God. Oh God. I give up.
When I did that, I mean, now they call it the KJSC.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, I didn't even know who McGrath was at the time. I was trying to get, I don't know what, I was in the pits and he was signing autographs and I was trying to get him to sign my bib and they wouldn't let him sign my bib because I had to race with it that night. So, I don't know. I think I got a autograph at some point, but
That's funny.
yeah, I didn't even know who the guy was. He came walking up with Bud Light, KTM,
Yep.
whole deal on, and I was kind of starstruck, but I didn't know who I was talking to.
Unreal. All right, Scotty's got one more for you.
Okay, so I do have a question, but
Okay.
one of our YouTube comments was so good I have to share it with you. They said like when you were in the 80s that you would be driving a T-top Camaro with a cowboy hat, maybe a pack of Marlboros rolled up in the Leonard Skinner T-shirt, and then he said bootlegging a truckload of Coors beer across the state line.
What are you talking about? He does that yesterday.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I can see him in the black Trans Am, with the Bandit
T-top.
license
Yeah,
plates.
yeah.
Oh yeah. I'd be
as-
drop top,
Yeah.
riding with the hair flowing,
Oh,
cowboy
yeah.
hat,
Nice, bro.
Yep.
headed to a nice 80s party.
Yeah, Van
making me
Halen just
miss my hair.
screaming. Yeah, dude.
Just screaming.
Yeah. So what my question was though, I saw on your Instagram. I have to ask. You're gonna have to tell me about that custom Scotty Cameron putter, man. That thing was sick.
Jeez.
Yeah, man. I actually hit that guy up because he was selling one of the Scotty Cameron putters, and I almost didn't get the first one that I bought because somebody had offered him some kind of price on it, and I was like, dude, what's your price? I will buy that thing right now. And I ended up getting that one, and then he hit me up not too long after that and was like, hey man, like I'll do a custom putter for you if you want. And I was like, dude, are you kidding me? Like, let's go right now.
That's
and
cool.
Yeah.
and yeah, I told him anything with KTM colors or something with black, white, and orange on it, and yeah, it came out unbelievable. And yeah, I can't thank that guy enough. He's he does all kinds of custom putters. I think he buys Scotty Camerons in bulk, and then he Cerakotes them and then paints them up. So it's a really cool process.
Very cool.
This would be Dark Side like if Slayer made an album for you that like was just the songs that you wanted, or whatever band, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not really a golfer, is what he's trying to say.
Yeah,
but
so it's
Tool,
like,
you know,
it'd be like, okay, it'd be like if Tool,
It'd be,
if
like,
Tool made
it'd be
you,
like having a vinyl with your face on it.
yes,
Tool,
yes,
a
bro.
Tool album with my face on it. I'm in.
The KTM Scotty
Okay.
Cameron, the
No, I
KTM
still
cover
think
Scotty
that's
Cameron
cool.
was
Like,
sick.
I'm not a golfer, but I get that. That's pretty badass.
Yeah,
all right.
it is awesome.
Before we let AP go, for our listeners, we're going to do a contest. I have one of the Supercross toys here of the Aaron Plessinger Yamaha from last year that he signed for me at A1 this year, and we're going to give this away to one of our listeners. I got a trivia question. In 2013, AP won 2 Loretta Lynn's championships. In 2014, though, he got 3rd in the Pro Sport class. Email us at motoxpodshow@gmail.com and tell me who the 2 riders are that beat him in 2014. A hint, they've both been on the show in the last month or two. But yeah, I'll pick a winner and we'll give away this custom autographed AP toy that I want in the studio, but I'm going to go ahead and give it away. So yeah, thanks to you, AP, for signing that for me at A1.
Oh, yeah. Anytime, brother.
Yeah, man. Hey, I appreciate you coming on. It's always just, I love having you on. You're such a happy guy, and you bring the heat and the excitement, and you've got me fired. Like, I've been exhausted today, and I'm like, now I'm wide awake. I'm ready to go run some laps.
Well, I do appreciate you guys having me on. It's always a good time to talk to you guys and let you guys know what's going on in my life. So
Thanks, AP.
I appreciate it, man.
Absolutely, man. We'll see you soon, and you be safe, and good luck at Paula.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate it.
Okay, see you, bud.
See ya.
Oh, that was fun. AP is
Yeah, dude,
so
he's-
rad.
yeah, he's
so
cool.
rad. Good
you
dude.
can you can just talk to him just like
Yeah.
yeah,
he's-
yeah.
Like, I
Fellow
sort of have my
fellow
guard.
Scott, middle name by the way.
Oh,
we're just
yeah,
we're just
that's
cool
right.
like that. Yeah.
I sort of have my guard up right now after the Cooper Webb comments last night. Did you hear any of that?
I have not.
Okay.
I will get into it.
Yeah, I want to talk about it in a little bit, and I'll try to explain my side. But I kind of gave him a little bit of crap when I called in. It's like, hey, I haven't talked to him in a while. He won't talk to me anymore because he hasn't answered my text in like a year and a half. And once I hung up, Steve kind of asked him about like how many times do you get a hit up for interviews, blah blah. And he's like, well, yeah, with that situation. Well, before that, he kind of joked. He's like, yeah, I was on every month. Because Steve said, have you ever been on the show before? And he's like, yeah, like every month. And it was sort of a dig. And then when I got off the air, he said something like, yeah, he was just asking me so much, and I ran out of excuses, so I just quit answering. And that, look, I don't doubt that that's what how he remembers it. But I mean, I probably did how much time have we got? Yeah, 3 minutes. I probably asked him 4 to 6 times a year, like twice during Supercross, twice during Nationals, maybe once during the off season. I remember before the 21 season, I had hit him up a couple times, and he responded like, hey, I can't this week. So like then the next week, I might, hey man, can you do it this week? And that was about the time he shut it down.
Yeah.
And like my thing is like, all right, so if I was asking too much, say, hey man, I just don't feel like doing it for a few months or whatever. But he said, hey, I can't this week. Well, that just means like, okay, I can't
Next
right now,
week,
but I can
yeah.
do it another time. And it kind of was a gut punch a little bit because I was like, dude, I thought he and I were cool, and I don't think we're not cool. And his feelings were that I was asking him too much, and that kind of feels like shit that he felt that way. And I really didn't like the way he said it, but I mean, Coop's pretty blunt. I don't think he was trying to be an a-hole, but yeah, that's what happened.
Well, he should have been more. I guess in that scenario is like if you're going to be that transparent at the beginning.
Yeah, and I will say he's a guy like Zach that like if I was like in a bind, like I needed a guest, he was a guy I went to because he almost always said yes.
I mean, you could see, and I did catch the first part where they were talking about like what happened to you this season. You could tell in his face that he's just like, yeah, he's going to talk about it, but like
his way.
Like this season was just like he didn't want to talk to nobody this season. It just he knew it wasn't going well.
Last year either.
Oh, it was last
The
year
last
too.
time I talked to him was probably somewhere towards the end of 20, and I tried to get him on before 21 started, and that's when he shut it down. Anyway, let's take a commercial break. We'll be back with Garret Schlegel from PrivateerLife.MX. Welcome back. This is the third guest of the night, and he's going to be brought to you by one of our killer sponsors, Works Connection. Since the inception of Works Connection in 1989, Eric Phipps' goal has been to produce Works-like products for the general public. With products like the industry standard Pro Launch Start Device, which Mathis gave a couple of those away last night, the Elite Clutch Perch, radiator braces, customized master cylinder covers, and much more. It's hard to imagine Unite going to worksconnection.com so you too can have what the pros use. Don't forget to use promo code MOTOXPOD20 to save. Tonight, Works Connection brings us from PrivateerLife.MX, Garret Schlegel. What's up, dude?
How you doing, Jamie? I appreciate you having me on.
Are you emphasizing the Jamie on purpose?
No, I'm sorry. Do we want to go with Dark Side, Mr. Guida? You tell me.
It doesn't matter.
Dude,
man.
I don't know what to call him anymore. It's weird.
I didn't catch it at first, but he was like, "How's it going, Jamie?" Oh, okay. I see what we're doing, Garrett.
How you been, man?
Been good, man. It's been a little bit since we've talked to you. So just right off the bat, for some of our newer listeners, talk about your website and why you started it and how they get involved and what it's about.
Sure. So a while back, I mean, this was probably 20 years ago, was the inception of when I first thought of it. But when it finally came to fruition about 5-6 years ago, the basis of it is there's really two components to it. So there's a supporter side and then there's the racer side. So if you go on our website, there's a great, kind of list of what we're about, what we do. And so if you sign up as a supporter, like you and I, or whoever is listening to the show, you're signing up as a supporter where you might offer a room to a privateer or amateur racer. Maybe you've got a shop that you've got tools they can use, a place where they can fill up their trailer with water, maybe a practice track, something along those lines. Anything to help offset the costs of guys traveling around the country, whatever discipline of racing they're doing, and just a way to help offset those costs so they may not have to get a hotel room, stay at a truck stop, etc. The second side of it is if you're a racer, right? So this doesn't just have to be, our supercross, motocross guys. It can be, again, any discipline of amateur racing or if you're at the pro level as well. You sign up as a racer and then you do a search, for what area of the country you're going through, the state, what amenities you might be looking for. And hopefully you can find someone out along the path that can help you out, whether you're staying in a spare room or riding their track for a day to get some riding in, whatever it is. So that's really what it is about. Our tagline is connecting racers. And so that's really how it all started. And then, as you know, the last couple of years, barring COVID, of course, we've actually had a lot of people coming forward, and we've gotten a pretty nice little program going where we're helping reimburse entry fees for privateers in the Outdoor Nationals, and then also just product giveaways. Works Connection, you mentioned when I came on, they've been a supporter of ours, a great company, NorCal company. We're up in Northern California, so it's been unbelievable the amount of people that have kind of come forward and said, hey, I can donate $100 this week, right? And we just, I don't know if you want to go into how privateers can get signed up, but maybe we can go into that next. And if there's any privateers out there that are doing the national series, we can kind of lay that out and let them know how easy it is to get signed up and get some cash, get some entry fees reimbursed.
Yeah, talk about that. Let's go ahead, Scotty.
I have your website pulled up it's full screen on their YouTube channel right now. So they're looking at the website right now.
Oh,
awesome.
Cool.
So it was kind of weird. I mean, we've been blessed with some great companies in the past that have been title sponsors where they've ponied up the money, which works out to almost $3,000 for the whole summer of basically reimbursing an entry fee of a different privateer each week. And which is, I believe it's still $250 for these guys to enter a race, which isn't chump change. And we've been, like I said, very blessed to have some people step up in the past to do that. And then as that kind of went along, other people, including yourself, Jamie, and the Motoxpod show has stepped up and said, hey, we want to do a $100 drawing this week, for the Texas round when we had the round down in Texas. And so you'd be amazed at how many different people have come forward just to do that. Some people want to remain anonymous, which is great. We had a guy put up $500, and then we split that up into $500 drawings in different rounds. And it's really worked out nice. And companies that want to get involved, I try and encourage them to say, hey, I'd love you guys to get as exposure as you can, and I'll send you guys the names, and you you can wear your company logo, have your business in the back or whatever it is. And some companies have chosen to do that. And others have just said, no, we're good. Just mention us and you pull the names for us. And we typically average between 3 to 4 drawings a week. Usually it's a single entry fee reimbursement. And then we usually have, 2 or 3 other $100 drawings each week. So this year is a little bit different. We weren't able to kind of secure a title sponsor. We kind of got on things a little bit late, and but I'm confident that throughout the summer we're definitely going to gain some more momentum like we have in the past. And I've been reaching out to a lot of the different people that have helped us in the past to see if they want to be involved this summer, and I'm sure it will. I'm not doubting that at all. So the first half of the summer is coming out of my pocket. I'm gonna do the first 6 rounds. The entry fee and reimbursement, and I've already got some people coming on board for $100 drawings and some product and things like that. So fingers crossed, we'll make it through the end of the summer and try and help out as many guys as we can.
That's fantastic. You got anything, Scotty? I thought maybe you had a listener. No? Well, yeah.
No, I will in a second.
Yeah. How many, like a couple years ago, before COVID, right? You were this thing. I saw you every week at the Nationals, or I saw you on your social media. You'd be posting stuff. It's been kind of quiet with the COVID stuff. Have there been like any like a lot of new people involved? There's been new riders reaching out there, kind of discovering it. Like we just had Justin Starling on, and he wasn't even aware of it. So like, are you finding new people that are coming around and discovering it, or has it been kind of difficult to grow it?
No, it hasn't been. And like I said, we got a little bit of a late jump this year. But it's funny because a lot of the guys we've helped out in the past, they were tagged in my post that I put up this week. If anyone wants to check that out on Instagram. And, for example, Jeff Crutcher, right? I think you might know who he is. He's a big presence in the Midwest. And so he tagged 3 privateer guys that he knows out that way. And those 3 guys have already reached out to me, and so they're going to go in the hat, right? I mean, they just got to sign up. So that, the only thing you got to do is sign up on the site as a racer. There's no hook to that at all. It's not like I'm selling your information. It's just trying to build the site. You sign up as a racer on the site, and then you DM me or email me what rounds you're going to do, and your name goes in the hat. It's as simple as that. There's no catch to any of this. It's all kind of a labor of love for what we all, love with the outdoor motocross. And there hasn't, I will say this, there hasn't been one guy that's been signed up each year that we haven't been able to help out at least once. A lot of guys are getting their name pulled multiple times throughout the summer, and that's great too. But we're really proud of that fact. We've had enough support where we've always been able to help out each and every guy at least one time throughout the summer.
Dude, it's so cool. There's so many cool organizations or people trying to help out privateers who are the backbone of our sport. So yeah, I've really appreciated. I still wear the T-shirt all the time. So I've appreciated what you've been doing, man, since we got involved with the podcast world and you kind of came on and told us about it. I think it's such a cool program.
Yeah, no, I'm proud of it. It was difficult through COVID, right? Like the first kind of year that COVID was here, we didn't even know if we were going to go racing, right? And then last summer, the announcement was made so late that I didn't feel comfortable reaching out to sponsors and trying to get something going at the very last minute. So unfortunately, last year we weren't able to do it. But I've had enough people ask me about it, like, hey, when are you? Are you going to be doing something again this summer? And I'm like, we are, because now things have somewhat gone back to normal. It's funny. It's like we've only kind of just started up again the last couple of weeks. We posted a couple of videos, and it's like I'm all antsy, like it's the first summer again that we're doing it. So It's cool, man. I just love helping guys out there. Every guy that we've ever helped has been so appreciative of it. I've got to work with a lot of cool people like yourself, and just a lot of industry people, from Andy at Guts and Ryan at Works Connection, and Daniel Blair's had me on his podcast, and Steve Mathis has had me on the podcast. So it's like a lot of guys have really taken to what we're doing, and without people like you and everyone else that's helped us out, we probably wouldn't be able to do close to what we've done in the past. So again, I'm thinking that this summer is going to be another great year, and hopefully build it up again even bigger the next summer.
I dig it. PrivateerLife.MX. Scotty, what you got?
So is this been something that you maybe have tried to maybe talk to MX Sports or AMA to get this maybe a sanctioned part of this, so that they can actually promote it with their their program.
branding.
Yeah, branding maybe a little bit more so that like, throw it in a commercial, throw it in a read or something like that. Is anything, have you trending that way or?
I that's a great question, Scotty. In the past, I did reach out to, and I don't want to mention any names, but they're big within outdoor motocross, and I just didn't get any response back yet. And we were kind of in our infancy at that stage, so I didn't take it personally, and it is what it is. Especially when you're new to something and you haven't really, your name's not really out there. People might think it was a flash in the pan. But no, I mean, it would be great if we could get a little bit more exposure. I mean, like I said, we're up in NorCal, so Hangtown's our local race. And in the past, we've worked with the Dirt Diggers, and they had a huge Jumbotron screen up a couple years back. And I paid for some advertising on that to try and help get the word out. And I think they even might have given me some couple entries or something like that for amateur day or whatever it was. But now that we're kind of getting the ball rolling again, I'd love to get some more exposure like that with the sanctioning bodies and the promoters that help put this on. I mean, that would be awesome. It's baby steps a little bit. It's almost not like we're starting from square one, but we're trying to gain momentum again. And again, I think once people start seeing that we're out there again, and even maybe some past sponsors, they might be able to be more apt to jump back on board again.
Well, I just thought of something while you were talking about all that. It's like I'm writing for Racer X Online all the time now. They have me doing privateer profile stuff.
Well, there you go.
So we'll write one on you in PrivateerLife.MX very soon.
That would be awesome.
Yeah,
that would be awesome.
I can take most of it from what we just talked about tonight. But after next week, I'm not doing. There's no podcast for me next week. No wrap up. No MotoXpod show. So I probably have a few minutes where I can get with you and get some information, and I'll throw something together for Racer X Online, and that'd be cool.
That'd be great. That'd be really awesome.
Awesome. Well, Garrett, man, I think that's I love this thing, man. I love what you're doing, guys. If you're listening, we got a lot of listeners, right? Not as many as Paul by any means, but we got a lot of people. Go check out PrivateerLife.MX. Follow them on Instagram. They have a Twitter page. I don't know how active you are on Twitter, but go to the website at least. Sign up, man, where you can, somebody's coming through town, privateer, maybe you just buy them a case of water if that's, but be part of it. It's really cool.
Yeah, literally, those are the things, too, that I really wanted to kind of get going for those guys is like, look, when you're in the pits, the privateers, and let's say you need a bag of ice or something, it's like, God, how easy would it be for you to just, post something up or just say, hey, if you get, the more that these guys meet their fans, a lot of people that do like the $100 drawings, they said, hey, would you mind if I just walked over and gave it to them, if it's a round that I'm not at? I said, that would be great. They take pictures with them, and then guess what? That privateer's got a lifelong fan moving forward, right?
Absolutely.
Because now they're invested. So it's crazy, the human connection and all of that. It's just been wild, but it's great. So, Jamie, if I got 1 second, one other thing that has really worked well for us, and I want to thank O'Neill Racing. I have got a guy that's the pro rep over there. And one thing that they've done, right, because it's hard for me to maybe give a set of gear away to a privateer because he may be sponsored by somebody else. But what they've done is they've sent me like 4 pro jerseys, right, sublimated, Hunter Sales, Dean Wilson. I've got a Justin Hill jersey. And what I do with those is I just auction those off on eBay, and then I turn around and use that money that I've made from those jerseys to turn around and use for drawings, right? So however much money that comes up with and divvy it up, throughout maybe $500 or $600 drawings, that is another way that we've kind of figured out to help give back. And that, I'm going to promote the hell out of O'Neill for doing that. And so if there's any listeners out there or people that are in companies that can do something like that, some people don't feel comfortable just giving cash to somebody or myself, but they have product that they're willing to work some kind of a deal like that. That is a way that I've found that works out, that everyone wins. They get exposure, right? They're supporting privateers. That's the kind of stuff that, I guess you just kind of got to get creative, and that's something that I've found that seems like it's worked really well.
Love it, man.
So like I said earlier, I had your website pulled up. Is there anything that you like want to kind of go through, like maybe anything to like kind of help our people navigate the site, or anything you kind of want to talk about?
I think the biggest thing, because even after maybe listening to this episode, there's always like, well, what is is there maybe something they didn't catch or whatever? So I always tell people to go to the FAQ section, the frequently asked questions, and that really gives more of an in-depth background on maybe some questions that people have. And then really it's kind of a pick and choose in terms of amenities if you're signing up as a sponsor, where I've tried to give it enough options in there, whether you have a shop, whether you have tools, whether you have water available, a practice whatever it is. And then there's a notes section down there, and you don't have to fill out all the contact information. Fill out what you feel comfortable with. It might just be an email, right? You may not want your phone number out there for the world to see, but maybe through some correspondence, you get to know whoever is trying to reach out to you, and you guys take it from there. So hopefully that answered your question, Scotty. But yeah, that's kind of where I tend to point people that are witness or seeing it for the first time.
Right on, man.
Love it, Garrett. Thank you, man. Hey, I appreciate you reaching out, because I wasn't sure if you were going to do it again. Like I said, it's been kind of quiet with COVID, and I knew you explained all that, so that's really cool. I'm glad you're bringing it back. I was very much hoping that you kind of hadn't given up on it, so that's fantastic, man.
Yeah. So hopefully we're going to be doing our third generation of shirts here. I just need to finish the design, and then we'll have those out, and I'll definitely get some of those over to you, Jamie, as well. And yeah, I always try to send those out to each of the guys that have won one of the drawings or whatever. So they've got a shirt, and they're stoked about it, right? Who doesn't like a free T-shirt?
I love free T-shirts. Scotty doesn't like any of that, so you don't have to send him one.
Come again?
All right, Garrett, man, thanks for reaching out, dude. It was good having you back on again, and we'll get hooked up, and we'll pick a round where we'll do the $100 as well.
That'd be great, man. Yep. I appreciate it. You already beat me to the punch. That was gonna be my close. I was gonna put you on the spot, Jamie. That was gonna be my closer for you.
I stole it from you, man. I snuck in the inside just like Barshaw and Mookie. And took it out from under you. We're about to talk about that here in a few minutes. So appreciate you coming on, Garrett. Thanks, man.
Jamie, thanks again, and I appreciate you having me on and spreading the word. And
yes, sir.
Thanks again, man. Appreciate it.
Absolutely, bud. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, sounds good.
All right, that was Garret Schlegel, PrivateerLife.MX. Please go check it out if you feel the need where you might want to help out at all. Maybe like he was talking about, maybe you'll meet some people throughout that. Maybe some privateers will come through, and you'll make buddies with some privateers. Who knows? You can help somebody out, though. Really cool. PrivateerLife.MX. We're going to take a quick break real quick, and we'll be right back with our Grill Your Ass Off segment, and that one that I told you a listener sent in that I liked the best so far. Okay. I think. I haven't gone through all of them. Was the Grill Your Ass Off second helpings.
Oh, that is good.
That's good.
Yeah.
Hang on. If you give me 1 second, I can tell you who sent that in. I think this is it right here. Yeah. Adam Jordan.
Okay.
Adam Jordan sent that in. So
I like that.
He did not do it the way I said at the email. A lot of people DM'd me, but that's okay.
We'll take what we can get.
Wasn't a contest. And just before we go to this last quick break, Brandon Kerr, he's on YouTube, I assume, because he's already entered for the AP toy. He's already answered the AP trivia contest question. So appreciate you, Brandon, for doing that. But we'll be right back with our Grill Your Ass Off, as of right now, second helpings. The reason I want to take a quick break is to see what the sound is like.
Yeah, they're saying it sounds staticky.
Like from everybody?
They said audio.
They're still saying everybody, or is it better now that he's gone? Because
is the audio better, guys?
It sounded rough to me. His sounded really bad. Well, I shouldn't say really bad. It sounded like just.
They said it was bad, but it got good.
Like it might be a cable going out, but
yeah,
man, it's all new cables, so I hope not.
I remember that one time it was just the way one wasn't connected in right.
Yeah, but I mean,
I told them I was like nothing had changed.
Yeah.
I turned down our.
Well, I turned it down on the board too.
Okay.
Which might be why it got better. Yeah. The board might have been a little hot, but it wasn't like that the whole time, or it was?
They said no, still bad.
Has it been that way the whole time?
When did it start? Yes, still staticky.
But was it like?
I know. It takes a second.
Okay, so I'm gonna listen back and see what it sounds like off the board. It might just be what's going to YouTube.
Yeah.
So, hang on. At the email, a lot of people DM me, but that's okay.
We'll take what we can get.
It's pretty clear. A contest.
Can you hear it? Yeah, it might just be YouTube.
Last quick break. Brandon Kerr, he's on YouTube, I assume, because he's already. Yeah, it's good from here. So, like, if somebody answers, let me know if it was that way from the beginning.
Yeah, they said it turned down in the call. I guess I turned the volume down because it said it was popping, so I turned it down.
So the only thing that really would make any sense, it would have to be the USB.
So it sounds like an interface reset is needed.
Okay, well, I can't really restart anything.
So it was that whole hit. It was just, it started on that interview.
Okay.
I don't know if we bumped
Oh
something.
yeah, I wonder if it's still that way now.
They said AP. Is it still? Is it sound better now, or is it still bad? I think they said we're saying it's still bad.
Yeah. Well, I can't really fix it at this point without restarting or changing the cable, and that would probably screw things up. So let me drop your commercial in.
Cool.
We'll do the last segment, and if it's bad on YouTube, I guess
hopefully it's
don't
just not
stop
too
watching.
Bad.
Just ignore it and go back and listen.
Well, they're
to the
still
audio.
listening, so I guess it's not that bad.
Well, I mean, I hate that, but there's not really anything I can do. So let me drop this commercial in. If I can find yours.
Try just twisting the cable.
It's the USB. It's not a twist cable.
Oh.
And if I unplug it, the board it changes the software.
Yeah, they said it's popping. I don't know if it's because.
Nothing is different.
Yeah, it literally
than it
didn't
was.
touch. I mean,
No.
it didn't change anything, so I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know.
It said everybody refresh.
Yeah, it may be. Well, it's. I'm trying to think about it right now. So, comes out of the board but the USB is also going into my software, so it's good there. So it may be something with the ATEM, the audio that's going into the ATEM.
The ATEM's not even open here.
No, the physical ATEM that produces the Black Magic. That's where the audio is coming from for YouTube off that. So it may be something with that. But if you reset it, we're gonna lose cameras and everything.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you guys are gonna have to deal with it, or just stop watching, because if we reset it, YouTube's over for the night. So, sorry guys. Let me drop this commercial.
They said that we can tough it out.
Okay, good.
They said it's not horrible, just kind of annoying.
I don't know where your commercial is. Oh, I do. Send it in the file.
Sorry about that, guys. Literally don't know what could have happened. It was just, I mean, nothing changed.
Dude, it's just shit happens. Look at Mathis's review pod the other day, and like it's fucking electronics and software. And look, we have the Roadcaster, our board, that sends a signal to my laptop, another set of software. That software sends a signal to the ATEM hardware. That ATEM sends a signal out to YouTube. There's a million things going on. Oh, that sounds like shit. I bet it'll go away when we reset, but I'm not resetting right now. I bet it's something with the ATEM. You know, we did do an update last week.
Jake said it's your fault for sure.
Like, he means you, right?
No.
No,
Did it Dark Side's fault for sure.
Jake and I are going to have some words.
Yeah, that's weird. I just turned on my computer and listened to it, guys. I literally don't know why it's doing that. Is it? Let's see.
You did Torque 1. I think that's it right there. The AP toy. Check 1, 2. What's up, everybody? I don't know what you're doing, but I'm trying to talk, and I'm about to play your stupid commercial. So.
Are you tired of your bike looking stock? Have you had enough?
That's not the right one because it doesn't have the music. This is awesome. This is great radio, guys.
Great radio.
Maybe this is it. I only have 2 of them, so hopefully I still have your commercial. Hopefully it didn't get deleted. There it is. Okay. I mean, yeah, I can't do anything. We can't, there's nothing we can do right now. What I know is the audio and the software is good. That's going to get played back. That's going to go up onto the different podcasts.
I mean,
it has to be
everything's in the green. So
yeah, it's something to do with the ATEM switcher or those laptops. So we're just going to reset everything afterwards.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, sorry. It's all Travis Marks' fault. Okay, here we go. Yeah, apparently we're having a little bit of an audio issue on YouTube. It wasn't there in the beginning. It's there now. Nothing has changed. Who knows? But what we do know for a fact is it's TJ's fault.
Yep.
All right, welcome back. we're going to do, as I said, for now, the Grill Your Ass Off second helping segment. A few other things to talk about. I already talked about the Cooper Webb thing. I'm looking through some of our notes here. Okay, so let's jump into Joey Savacci riding outdoors for Factory Kawasaki as a fill-in with AC out. What do you think about that?
I just found out about it.
Wow,
2 seconds ago.
With anything. You are the worst media personality.
Okay.
All right,
when was it released
I don't
on?
expect a lot out of Joey. He hasn't had a couple good his last couple seasons haven't been great. I don't know what he's been doing recently. I mean, the whole Rocky Mountain thing fell apart. I don't see him just jumping on Kawasaki and being, I think maybe top 15, like 15 to, I'll say 15 to 20.
I think he can get inside the top 10.
I'm talking consistently. I'm not saying I don't think he'd get in the top 10. I disagree.
I'd say if you got to round, let's say round 6, and you saw
and 8 people are hurt.
No, if you went round 6, you went back and looked at his results, and they were like 9, 12, 13, 11.
I don't see the 9.
10. You would be like, okay, that's about right.
I don't think so.
You don't think he can squeak 1-9 in there?
Yeah, I said once in a while.
I know.
thought
You didn't listen. You didn't listen to what I was saying. If you took those 6 races, and you were like
okay.
9, 12, 13,
Sorry.
11, 10.
Yeah.
Then that would be like, okay,
11,
that's
10 mods.
yeah. That would be a pretty successful season so far.
I mean, I think it's not like a bad pick for Kawasaki to put somebody in there. Like they need somebody. He's available. Like he's a good rider. He's a great
it'll
rider.
get talked about. I mean, I guess it's all about brand awareness. So
yeah, and I don't know if they're the way their team is. Like they have to have somebody on that bike, but that's cool if they put him there.
I was thinking that too, Gary. He said it's ironic he lost his ride to AC and now he's filling in for him.
So all right, that's one thing. Dungey, we've kind of talked about. What do you expect out of Dungey? What are your
Dude, it sounds like he's coming in to
win?
To do it.
Yeah. He said last night like he would like to win. That's just his goal.
He wouldn't do it if he didn't think that he could.
He's the type of guy that I go, okay, like if he came out and won, I'd be like, go figure. Yeah, all right.
He's done. I mean,
it's like I don't expect that, but if he did,
he's only
like whole.
He's been gone for 6 years, but it's not like he's 38, dude. He's 32. I mean, 33. He'll be just fine. Like I still think he can do it. Outdoors was always kind of his bag anyways. Like he just always looked super comfortable outdoors. Can he handle up to the question is the intensity. And we've talked about this before. Like if he can get that intensity right, like and maybe not get too gun shy after the first round,
I think he's
but like I said, man, if he pulls a whole shot, which he's more than capable of doing, then like I just don't see him falling back that far. I just don't see it.
Right. Okay. J Mark to Club MX next year. That's cool. That's good.
Awesome.
I was a little like I wish
didn't know about that either.
I wish he had said that on our show last week, but
yeah, I haven't got that far in yet.
Yeah, he announced that last night. He probably couldn't have last week, and
things have changed.
Excuse me, I can't really be mad at him for wanting to break the news on Pulp, I guess.
Do you think Dungey should be a 3-digit number?
Didn't
he lose his number?
His number was available, so they gave it to him, which technically is against the rules.
Because he had to earn it?
Yeah. But I think with the championships, and I think it's okay to have
running a loose program.
Yeah, not an amendment necessarily, but I think it's okay. I think he's earned the right since it was available to have it back. Like if Ricky came back and that number was available, you give it to him, man.
Yeah.
If Jeremy were to come back and the 2's available, you give it to him. They just have earned it. I don't know where you draw the line.
Where the rule is?
Yeah, but I feel like guys like that have earned it.
Like we say, most of AMA's
top 5 all time.
All of those decisions are
flexible.
Or like, I just had the word in my head, and then you made me forget.
The one that
open for interpretation.
Sure.
Yeah. So there.
Yeah, I'm fine with it though.
Yeah.
I'm fine with it. I have no issue with that. I'm okay with Cairoli getting 222. Them taking it from the guy that has it or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, he's freaking Antonio.
Yeah. You gotta give him that. You gotta give it to him.
Sorry about you.
But, I'm ready for outdoors. I'm pumped. I think it's gonna be awesome. I think the Cairoli and Dungey thing come back. After talking to him, I'm gonna put my dark horse as AP.
Yeah. Okay, he's excited.
He's sounding ready to
But
go,
he
man.
sounded that way for Supercross too, and it didn't go.
Oh,
super well.
he got second in the second round and then got hurt.
Yeah.
So
Okay. All right. I'm excited for it too. I think AP is going to be great. Again, I think he's going to be better than Joey Savacci. So,
who is supposed to be good that you think struggles?
I mean, I'm trying Mookie, maybe. He hasn't done a lot out.
Yeah, but Mookie, I wouldn't say he's supposed to be good.
I think people expect him to be good.
Good-ish, yeah.
Yeah.
Top 5. I mean,
the guys that are supposed to be good, the Eli's, if he races,
Well, I guess the question is,
I think they're going to be good.
is Anderson that improved in the outdoors as he was in the Supercross season?
Obviously, this is just guessing. I don't know, but I'm going to say yes from what I've heard. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Does Caroli beat Dungey?
Yes.
You think so?
Like for the whole year? As of right now, 2 races for Cairoli.
Right.
That's what we're going with.
Sound
I
like
say
Dungey's doing more.
Cairoli does better than Dungey at both races.
You really think so?
Yeah, I do really think
I
so.
mean,
Why'd you ask me like that? Do you really think so? Yeah. Yep. I sure do.
I guess he has been racing more frequently.
Yeah. He almost won a championship a couple years ago. He wasn't far off until he got hurt.
Yeah, like what the last
world championship
last year? Or
I thought it was the year before, but 20.
He was.
Might have
Yeah,
been last year too.
Yeah, I think he got hurt last year.
Okay. Well, yeah, Cairoli. Yeah, Cairoli's gonna rip. Last topic, the Barsha penalized. Barsha was penalized 10 points, dropped him to 5th overall.
That
Cost him a
pass
bunch of
was
money.
that pass was wild, bro.
It was disgusting.
Just
Didn't even try to turn.
No.
He was pretty open. He's like, yeah, man, I'm here to win, or I'm it's a job, and he was trying to get third.
well, he just kind of
Like-
went back on everything he said for like all season.
Yeah,
which is
but
kinda
I mean,
funny.
like, really, the only way that was going to work is if he put Mookie down. He had to hope that
Yeah.
Mookie either broke
I mean, that's
or couldn't get back up to the point spot where he was still in
that's
third.
clearly what he was doing. It's
Yeah.
clearly his mindset. I mean, it's Barsha. I mean,
He somewhat owned it. Like he said it on the the podium. He said it to me in my post-race interview that's on
Yeah.
YouTube, and he said it in the press conference. I mean, I don't like it at all. You guys already know from my rants from a few weeks ago how I feel about that kind of shit. But he owned it. He's like, I don't want to tell you.
yeah.
Now, he did say, I think it was on my interview, but it might have been the press conference. He's like, yeah, Malcolm said he wanted to talk to me afterwards, so I guess I'm going to go down and see if he's still around. I really wonder if he looked for Mookie or if he was like, let's put a hoodie on and get the hell out of here.
At the end of the day, they're kind of on the same brand. Like, I mean, they're under.
I don't know that matters anymore.
I mean, we've talked about that, like that we've asked people involved in those teams that if and they're all supposed to work together.
Well, he did not.
No, he did not. He did the opposite
Yeah,
of
it was
that.
kind of gnarly, man. So I don't know.
Greasy as greasy gets.
Greasy, I didn't like it. Left a bad taste in my mouth. All right, last thing, the Monster Party.
Oh yeah,
That was really cool to get to go to.
Oh yeah, answer the question.
Yeah, oh yeah.
How many drinks did you have? And what were they?
Under by far.
Under 3?
Oh yeah. One
You had one
Jaeger.
Jaeger bomb.
No, just Jaeger, straight Jaeger.
You just like drank it like a shot.
A shot of Jaeger.
That's all you have. One shot of
Oh
Jaeger.
my God, how old is he?
I'm-
how's that guy?
Oh my God, I'm just trying to get-
one shot of Jaeger. That's it. Get
Okay,
it?
yeah,
You're
okay, I'm good.
No,
I'm just.
that was it,
You
but-
didn't chase it with a monster. You had a monster party.
God, all right, we're done. No, I'm gonna drink water later. Look, I don't drink.
I know.
I haven't drank in years. Realized as soon as I drank it, hadn't eaten since lunchtime,
Your stomach just started turning.
and I was instantly like, one shot. And I told Nick,
Do you
I
puke?
said, I'm gonna have to sit down because I could tell I was already like it hit me so hard.
Like you felt it?
Oh my God, yeah. Like I was wobbling, and I was
'Cause
like,
your tolerance is that bad?
yeah, I don't. Drink.
Oh man, I guess you have a
And
zero
I had no
tolerance.
food in my stomach.
Yeah.
So it
just
went
straight to the
And I
dome.
sat down on the couch for a few minutes because this place is like the upstairs VIP area, and there's couches. I just chilled out. I actually sat next to don't remember. A-Ray, maybe.
Yeah,
A-Ray's
A-Ray's like, yeah.
A-Ray's chick came up and talked to me for a little bit, but I don't remember who I was sitting next to.
So you didn't get like start dance on the dance floor? like-
No. I was just chilling out, visiting with people, but I had to sit down for a little while. But I mean, there's a ton of people there. I mean, almost anybody you can think of was there. A lot of fun, but I had to chill for a little bit, and then
we probably only sat down for like 10 minutes and you were fine. 15 minutes tops.
I wasn't fine, quote unquote, until I got back to the room. Like I was
Really?
feeling it walking to Denny's.
Dude, that's crazy.
I am a lightweight.
Dude, that's a featherweight.
Especially I mean, 6 years ago when I was going out, I could drink 2 or 3 and be okay. But I think the biggest thing was no food.
Yeah, that'll do it. When
sucks.
I noticed that when
And I
I
just didn't
drink,
think about it.
I'll drink. If I don't eat anything all day, I drink 3 beers. I am like can hardly stand up.
It was rough. Like I knew I had to sit down because I was going to be bumping into people.
It said so buzzed you can't remember who you sat next to.
No, that's just old age. God, man, it's driving me crazy because I don't know. I mean, I hung out with Cade and for a few minutes in car now and talked to Christian and
Light Daddy.
big time.
Like
It was a lot of fun. It was cool. I was really stoked.
because they were calling you Dark Daddy earlier.
I want to shout out to Jensen he's a team manager at Star because he hooked me up with the passes. He hooked me and Nick up. And every year
party passes.
Every year and before, like I couldn't really get a pass to.
So was it a party for Christian and Eli?
It was just a Christian. Eli wasn't there that I saw. It was Monsters party, but it was celebrating Christian's championship.
Okay.
I'm sure if Eli had gone, they would have done it all. But it was just a big monster party. They rented the upstairs of this place. I mean, I saw Pierce there, who's a Red Bull rider, but
Yeah.
pretty much anybody you can think of. I think some of the Monster Girls were there, but like Brady's the only one I really know. Roy Riley was there with Austin.
Yeah.
All those guys were there. Most of the riders were there. AC was there. Everybody was there, just hanging out, talking. Well, wasn't a lot of talking because it was too loud, but yeah, exactly. It was a good time, man. It was just fun. Like the fact that they invited me and we got to hang out and
Yeah, that's cool.
yeah, I feel like just slowly moving up in the.
Moving on.
Like it was kind of cool because a few of the riders were like Chase Sexton walked by and goes, "You made it!" I was like, "Sure, dude." I feel like maybe.
Oh, I'm sure you cool guys it. You cool guys the shit out of it too.
Cool. I feel like he maybe had a few drinks because that was a very excited you
No
made it.
way!
It was a very excited you made it for me.
Yeah.
It's like he doesn't give a shit that I made it, but it was a lot of fun. The weekend was awesome. This weekend's going to be more awesome. Unfortunately, you guys aren't going to hear about it for about 2 weeks. So.
Oh, okay. I do have one more question.
Okay, let's wrap it up because here's real quick. So I have not seen Amber since I left Wednesday night, and tonight's the only night I'm going to get to see her until next Wednesday night.
I'll keep it
Or
short and
Tuesday
sweet.
night.
So
Wednesday.
okay, I just wanted to know how because I'm sure you went there like not really wanting to drink. How did the situation come up to where you did take the shot?
No, I walked in. I wanted a shot of Jaeger.
Oh, like you didn't take it with anybody. You just went up and took one. You just
I
threw
think
one
Nick
back.
was standing there. I just did it on my own.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if it was like a situation where like, oh, you got to take a shot, Dark Side. Like,
No. I mean, I did have some people say that after. Hey, come get. And I was like, no, I'm done. That was it. Because if I'd done any more, I'd been.
yeah. Jaeger will do it to you too, man. That's a whole different thing.
Yeah. So it's not an exciting story. It's actually kind of an embarrassing story that I am that much of a lightweight. But I mean, it just is what it is. I don't drink and.
Yeah, no.
But the whole weekend was awesome. I mean, just like I said, hanging out with Evan Blair was cool. Just
yeah,
like, doing
that was cool
stuff.
that you
And
did that.
That kind of stuff is cool because I feel like that's an experience he's going to remember. Talking shit with Mathis and him talking shit back and just the fantasy talk up in the press box, all that good shit was a good time. Let's wrap this thing up.
Yep.
I want to call it a night so I can get. I'm actually done early. No wrap-up stuff. I did it all this morning and at lunch.
You wrapped up the wrap-up stuff?
Just so I can have like an hour with Amber before I leave again. I want to thank Cherubies USA, Race Tech. Were you about to say something? Or are you just laughing?
No, I was going to say. So what are you going to do for the other 55 minutes?
What I said.
You said you're going to go see Amber for an hour. I was like, what are you going to do for the other 57 minutes?
Oh, I think you're trying to be funny.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to fall asleep watching TV.
Yeah.
Probably won't be much else than that. Race Tech, promo code MotoXPod, Fly Racing, X Brand Goggles, Works Connection, promo code MotoXPod20 to save. Go get you a whole shot device, get you some radiator braces, get you a master cylinder cover, and engrave it with your name or our logo.
My parts list is terrifying looking.
I need to look at that. That'd be really bitching if some of our listeners got our logo engraved on their master cylinder cover, which I have that one. It's actually in my gear bag to go this weekend.
I'll get one of those.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Torque One Racing, our jerky, Moto X Pod 21, Shout out to Robbie Wageman. Heal up, buddy. He got $100 from Seal Savers, which I know is not a sponsor. They are a competitor of Shock Socks, but Mason at Seal Savers put up $100 for what was supposed to be the save of the race in the Yamaha Privateer race. I didn't see any saves, so I gave it to Robbie for the did not save it.
Yeah.
So he got $100 from that. So thanks to them. Berm Lords Graphics and Jersey ID.
It wasn't his fault, though. That bike
blew up.
cratered on him.
Shock Socks, our fork seal protector sponsor. Williams Moto Works, Extreme Colors, Blood Lubricants. Get some oil. Moto X. The Barracuda bloodline is out. Multiple weights, better protection, better performance, and last longer. Power Band Racing, True Fusion Sports. Thanks to DK. He's supposed to be hooking me up with some stuff to hopefully save my body after Kiefer tries to beat the shit out of it this weekend.
Dude, you're gonna be
And
so
grill your ass off, code MotoXPod. That's a big one. Good guys, go to grillyourassoff.com. Get you some seasoning. Get you some stuff to cook with. And, next Tuesday night before this show, grill up some burgers, grill up some stuff using your grill your ass off, and chow down while we're doing the show. Let us know what you think about it. Thank everybody. Appreciate everybody. Other than that, Scotty, we're done. We're out.
Later.